The last moment where he left the coalition center. MP4.
Johnny Kalu.
The most common way people give up their pies by thinking they don't have any. Take back your power. You have it in you. You can do it. Just push. Just keep pushing. That's our way of motivating you this morning. Let's help you write better English and, of course, speak better English. Kind courtesy, the tall man.
Today's word is Tumultuous. Tumultuous. Tumultuous is an adjective and it means very loud or full of confusion, change, or uncertainty. Let's exemplify it. The president appeared to tumultuous applause and a standing ovation. Tumultuous.
Okay.
A new word for you this morning to improve your communication with others. But that's it for the word of the day. And it's a Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
midweek. And so for those who are pained by the defeat of the MPP in Akwatia, and for those who are rejoicing, I think the song it falls in the middle line. So you can rejoice with it, and you can also feel your pain with it. So let's do the video of the day this morning.
You know a part of the song that says vroom,
Vroom.
Oko, vroom, Akwatia ko.
Oh. And MPP saw it. I really feel the MPP would be so pained this morning because look at this is a situation where you lost your sitting member of parliament. So if for nothing at all, you would have expected some sympathy to come through. Unfortunately, that did not happen for you at all.
You know, last night, scanning through social media, I saw a lot of comments coming from the NDC that 2024 election results, they won. So now I am thinking, is what we saw in Akwatia yesterday a testament to that? Or the message the NDC sold that, well, you say you want development. The NPP have been here 5 times. You haven't seen any development. We are in power now. We are promising you development. Is that what the people, the voters heeded to? Or the NDC actually won in 2024?
Yeah, well, in 2024, we can never know because, I mean, the case was in court and yeah, but anyways.
Let's head to Inside
Akwatia
Out. So on Inside Out, obviously, we're heavy on Akwatia. Yesterday was all about Akwatia. Even preceding yesterday, from Sunday, Monday, we're talking all about Akwatia. And there were a lot of things that were said. Let's hear the man of the moment, Michael Ochubefi.
Yeah, because a basi ya prosecute campaign, ya engage, ya ninkofa kasa, ya tiomasem, ya solve problems. The 2 candidates, you know, the strength of the candidate. We were far ahead than the NDC, ahead of them. You know, in all the indicators I'm there to. And so, did they know? I'm a plan over the back contest just to buy votes. And whilst they were buying votes, paying between 500 to 1,000 cities to every voter, vote a beer because of pay scan. Me election, we don't. And I'm mentioning that people free me because see, when my people were being discouraged, my people never been on my power. It do say 3 days to election. NDC air rules. I'm a truck load of anything, spray machines, any dryers, hair dryers, any fertilizers, abakumono. I had no option than to encourage my people. The team is we are winning these elections. And not make his statement say if I will lose, I'll resign. No, because on the calendar, there's no way there was an election we lose.
So he was encouraging the team. He was trying to encourage his people not to lose hope and to have faith in the fact that, well, they are able to win this election. And so that's why he made those comments. And people say this is not an apology.
Yeah, obviously this is not.
No, but he's explaining why he made the comment.
He's even making allegations of vote buying.
Oh yeah, he says yes. He
but
holds on to
can
that.
they also hit their chest and say that they did not give them TNT? And TNT is a form of inducement.
Well, he says they brought spray machines and hair dryers, and you cannot compare that to TNT. So he spoke to Asasi Radio yesterday on that particular development. And, well, even though the man has said this is what happened, for which reason he made the comments, we are getting indication from the NDC who say, you lie bad. You will go. We will hold you to your word. Let's listen to Tanko Computer speaking about what is supposed to be the from Michael Ochubefi.
Don't vote for a party that will only deliver you press conference. You vote for a party that will bring you development, employment for your youth. And that is what we have done. And clearly, we have to give thumb up to the good people of Akwatia, executives of our party, led by our national chairman and the general secretary of the party. Victory is an organic victory, a victory for the people. We are going to Michael Befi constituency.
He says he's apologized and
we are not accepting it. Nobody's going to. We are not accepting the apology. He must resign. Michael Befi will come to his constituency. We are going to test.
But the honorable turn is also to apologize, and he has apologized. Don't you think you should accept his apology?
Apologize. Is that what we are saying, honorable members? When you are called honorable, everything of you must be honorable. The gentleman made a categorical statement. I will resign.
He apologized.
Let us go and test their strength in that constituency and see whether that's a stronghold of the MPP. That's why you could stand and say he will resign. He was here with us. We are going to hold him. If he doesn't resign, we will write to the Speaker of Parliament. And he must apologize in the floor of Parliament so that the whole public will see who he is, so that they know that certain activities of people like that should not be countenanced by Ghanaians. They must allow decency in our politicking so that Ghanaians will respect us.
So that's Rashid Tanko Computer. He's the Deputy Director of Elections. And, you know, every time I saw Rashid, it just gave me goosebumps. I remembered Dr. Manebwama. You know, he would have been in the thick of affairs in Akwatia. And I heard Rashid talk about the fact that, he gave him a blueprint prior to his death. So maybe this was an honor, because
they had said the party had said that they were going to win Akwatia to honor Dr. Manebwama.
Anyway, typical of elections, characterized by certain level of chaos. This was no exception. Yesterday there was a seeming tension between Chairman Buga and Chief Sofo Azoka. That's what you see on your screen.
Right. So that's what in fact, some of the words used here
very unprintable. We cannot repeat
those words. But you see, when he started, you can tell that Masawudu was thinking, this was just one of those things.
Yeah.
But I realized that no, so far Zoka did not come to play. The guy meant real business and used all those words on him. And then, after this altercation, this verbal altercation, we know that Masawudu says he's reported to the police. But then what happened afterwards was that he also decided to get his boys behind him. So his boys now started following him because they felt that, it was because we were not with you that Azoka had the opportunity to do what he did to you. And so for that reason, we are now also jacking up. And I was really worried about that development, hoping beyond all hope that it would not degenerate.
Especially because of Ablekuma North. And precedents. Ayawaso West Wogon. And what the name signifies, Azoka. And I'm sure you all remember Azoka Boys. So I was really hoping that this will not degenerate.
And you see, this is pure assault. Looking at the guy in the blue shirt with the hat on his head, I don't know whether it's a hat to say, and how he stretched forth his hand to just physically assault Masawudu. And I remember yesterday one of my panelists talked about the fact that we need to see the Ghana Police Service deal with this matter. At least look at the guy. Look at the guy. So the hand goes down and then now he says, no, I have an opportunity, let me raise it, and it's coming on the head of Masawudu. This is terrible. It is terrible. And you see, the conversation is that because of the non-punitive punishment that was handed over to those who are arrested in the Ablekuma North election, we're seeing this. Because, 6,000 Ghana cedis for electoral violence, go free and sin no more.
Meanwhile, there were recommendations even after the Short Commission report, and even with the Vigilante Act, there were certain recommendations in there.
Absolutely.
So if we are to apply it to the letter, then 6,000 cedis is nothing. However, they say that it lies in the bosom of the judge. So it's to the discretion of the judge. The judge has
and that's why quite a number of people who even like the judge are not enthused about this particular one, because what it does is that it does not make electoral violence unattractive. I mean, we want to send a signal because we'll keep having elections in this country. There's another by-election ahead of us in Tamale Central. We know that is not going to be competitive because the MPP has decided not to be a part of it. But if the MPP were also actively contesting that, what signal are we sending to the people of Ghana? What signal are we sending to party vigilante boys? What signal are we sending out there for people to know that if you perpetrate electoral violence, there is a hefty penalty for you? And we need to discourage any form of violence in association with elections at all. And clearly, we need to see, I think, going forward, the best thing that Chief Azoka can do is to either apologize publicly for the verbal altercation and say that, you know what, yes, it was in the heat of the moment. Just as Otribefi says, he also said what he said in the heat of the moment. My mind was also in the heat of the moment. And so, please, Masaudu, forgive me. Let's let this
so
ride.
We can move on.
So we can move on. You understand?
Because we know that during such events, tensions are high. And especially for Akwatia, the stakes were very high. So maybe in the spur of the moment, that's what happened. But, I mean, this should not be countenanced. And maybe, just maybe, going forward, people like Chief Azoka should be made to stay away from elections.
I mean, he had no basis.
And
that attack was very needless. It's shameful. And I think the NDC as a party should even condemn their very own Chief Azoka. I mean, yes, it's an institution within the party, but come on.
The party.
It doesn't send a good signal about what the party stands for, especially looking at history, clearly. Anyways.
Anyway, Masaudu himself has been explaining.
Di machino one say yes say ko sign peace accord no peace agreement no yeah call and this form ba me o be attack me no and this form ba and this your constitution constitution they say the leadership of the party. When they say leadership of the party, we mean the national leadership. Yes. I don't know who offer IGP say IGP for Umbra and Bay meeting. Now IGP for commissioners. Now we are IGP, we are commissioner. Now Kofana junior police bar say winning and Kasa Ubepini. Umpini. That is the case. So, you know, Juni said, no, Yamfa boys beyond DH. Yaba, you know, Yatina boys nina beyond me chain. But Omo say, no, Munina tea. Says me what me to grab who saw more. Says I mean, so some me for boys in Namno. And a man with chance, no, the boys are attacking me. Who are Judas Uncle Oba and Namisu me boys to Gina Hall, Uncle Zoko Numa or Numan Sakura, Uncle Beta Baba Yadi Obey, Uncle Kenya, where Bema Misu me a Bema. Uncle, dear Bessie Nancy. MPP, they are winning dada. MPP, you are winning. They actually say you are winning. One say election starting. The starting of the election that would justify whether or not you win the election, and the way the people are coming to vote. So my dear election since 1992. So the way Crawford coming out to Abano with aggressive way, no, Ubehon say yes, MPP, you win Abano.
So coming back to the issue, you are live on GTV at GHOne. Coming back to the issue, what really happened? Did you say anything offensive to Chief Sofo Audu Azoka to warrant his attack on you?
I make a formal complaint to the this Akwatia police station. The way he attacked me, I did nothing. The way he attacked me, and he make a devastated comment. He make it clear categorically, stated his word categorically that myself and the minority leader, he will make sure both of us has been murdered in Akwatia here. That is what he said. He said he came here possibly because of myself and then the minority leader.
What did you do?
I've done nothing. Just why did I come to Akwatia? Because they brag out there that, let Alaji cannot even step his foot in Akwatia. And Alaji cannot even step his foot in Akwatia. And I'm in Akwatia for the past
What a devastating explanation.
Yeah, to a devastating comment made by Sofa Zoka. Yeah, he made it categorically. Yeah. And you know, when you listen to the other, it says, who is Sofa Zoka? He cannot even speak English. Like, hey, now when did that become?
Is that criteria?
Oh my goodness, our politicians. But you know, the man Sofa Zoka has also been providing some explanations to why he confronted Masawudu in the way he did.
Omisi afenya maka baha mi dona ka betun wa ha ye be ye by election krum wallahi ye friend say ye police station mo ka che so wa ha aka betun wa ha mi dona afenya maka mbe by election krum. We are ready for that. If you are not respecting the police, wallahi we do by election is constituency. Why lucky ye ba no omunya. Some buy party office, some higher party office. They are not right to come here.
Well, this was after, you know, the seeming tension over the removal of posters, and there were reports that it was led by Apengamaking and his boys, and then Chief Sofa Azoka came into the party office in Akwatia and he said, well, if you met him there, I think that was those statements were very distasteful. I mean, for a vice chair of the ruling government and a party in power, please. I mean, the NDC should condemn this in every sense of the word. How can you say that? If I had met him here,
there would be a by-election.
Come on.
What is that? I mean, Chief Sofa Azoka, you see, some of these things, it's not about the personalities. It's about the comments. And you see, they are comments that have the potential of some way, somewhat, also sparking violence. And that's what we are trying to move away from.
Exactly.
And I believe that in our body politics, we've evolved over the years, and we should not be tolerating things like this. And for this particular statement, I really, really, really hope Apengamaking takes it up.
Yeah.
Because Sofa Azoka should be able to explain what he meant by that commentary. Because if you look at it, it's a threat on his life. Some way, somehow, you are looking at making him a former MP. And so what does that mean?
Because we were in Akwatia yesterday because after the demise of Ernest Kumi, the seat became vacant. So if you say that we will be conducting another by-election, are you saying that on the premise of Ernest's demise? And so, I mean, that's why
Masawudu says that Sofa Azoka threatened the life of Apengamaking and himself, and that's why he was also feeling the way he was feeling. And so, you see, with this particular comments, I would never be able to understand anybody who tries to justify this.
Absolutely.
It makes no sense. Azoka should be invited to come explain issues surrounding this particular one. I respect him. I mean, he's done well in the body politics of the NDC. He's a vice chair. He's a big man. But this comments, sir, I'm sorry, totally uncalled for.
It doesn't speak of a statesman. Anyway, so at the end of the day yesterday, BBB, Bernard Bediako Baidu, won. Let's hear the declaration by the Electoral Commission.
Parliamentary results of Akwatia constituency by-election. Here are the vote cast. Solomon Asumedu had 15,235 votes. Bernard Bediako Baidu of NDC had 18,199. Ousu Pat had 82 votes. Total valid votes 33,500. Total rejected ballots 303. Total vote casts 33,819. I, Eric Osu Jemfi, the returning officer of Akwatia constituency, declare Bernard Bediako Baidu as MP-elects for Akwatia constituency. Thank you very much.
Okay. So,
just like that, the cookie crumbled.
You know.
And then it was more of Agbena.
And you know, in all of this, we must commend the IGP. His men were on the ground, were dotted across, and we can beat our chest and say this is one of the most peaceful by-elections. Beyond the I will beat you matter. This is one of the most peaceful by-elections we have conducted. Even though I said North, we didn't record a lot of incident, but even with that, some persons they pelted stones at some persons' cars. But this, the IGP, we caught up for you. You have done extremely well. I mean, a lot of people, and I for one, I kept every time I engaged my colleagues on ground, I kept asking them to stay safe because I was worried for them. But the police ensured that nothing untoward happened. And so for this, we say that congratulations to the IGP and the Ghana Police Service and all persons in the Election Security Task Force. However, you know, when the returning officer mentioned the final collated results, voter turnout, 33,000. Meanwhile, Akwatia has a voter population of 52,000. Means 19,000 people didn't vote.
Yes, but when you look at the turnout in the 2024 elections, it would not come to you as a surprise at all. I mean, we are looking at a turnout of about 64%, which for a by-election clearly saw some interest there. I was quite worried in the beginning when we saw the numbers dwindle. But then I believe that later in the day when the numbers started picking up at some polling centers, we were told that, oh, this is a farming community, so people usually would go to their farms and then later on come and vote. So I was not expecting anything too different from what happened in the 2024 general elections. But then I also want to commend the people of Akwatia themselves.
Yes.
I believe that the people of Akwatia conducted themselves in a manner that was so worthy of admiration. And regardless of the security situation and the tensions that were brewing,
they were not intimidated.
No, the people in Akwatia decided we would come and vote and go and sit somewhere. We don't have time for all of these. And so you realize that even the little pockets of violence that we saw were by people who were not in Akwatia.
Yes.
People who had moved from their various places came to Akwatia and then they came to misbehave small. But the real indigents, the people of Akwatia themselves, kept the peace. They were ready. And I saw videos of people in Akwatia, like they came to party. They are not interested in the violence whatsoever.
In the end,
no.
Whatever
no
happens,
aggression.
they will be at a loss. I mean, everybody will go.
Absolutely.
What will happen to Akwatia? They live there.
And maybe they also saw Black Maria. And they realized that.
Well, that was a good move by the IGP.
If you do pan, you are not going to. You enter Black Maria, you'll be roaming.
The IGP will do pakma. Anyway, so yes, these are the things that happened in Akwatia. But let's hear from the man himself, BBB, Bernard Bediako Beidu.
Council.
Yeah, council is going to Parliament.
The confidence has always been there. It is not just mere confidence out of nothing. It was born out of the good work we had done. After engaging the people, we read their reaction towards the message we gave them, and we saw that it had really imbibed. They gave us a hope, some hope of a sort, which hope has resulted to what we see today. I mean, we've always been very confident. I told you, I don't know whether I told you guys that we've been in this game for a while. If you are in it and you are losing, you will know, except maybe if you don't want to be honest to yourself. I told you what we were working out at that moment I spoke to was with regards to the gap. But as for the win, what are we witnessing? We've won. Okay. I've always said that, you see, when you are going to such contests, there are a lot of things you will hear. But I don't focus on tangentials. The focus is on the main ball. My focus is to have my message delivered, the people accept it, and then they take it up and work to make sure victory is delivered. We've always said that, you see, Akwatia's name has always been with regards to mining. You can't take away the mining, okay? We only have to do it lawfully. That's what we're going to work on. Where we are now is a GCD property. hitherto, just before Dramani Mahama came to power, the place was in darkness. If you recall, we did the same coalition here, and we had to put on some solar panels and all, lamps and all that. Today, and it wasn't because of the by-elections, it was even done before. Today, we have electricity. It is the first step towards getting GCD back on track, which can employ thousands of people. There are other things we are looking at. Essentially, it is about development, and we will make sure we deliver.
Well, he says development is what the people are looking for, essentially. So they will make sure that they deliver. And I am hoping and praying that it was not campaign as usual. It was not business where they will come in, give them words of hope, and then they will go back to sleep.
I think this time around, at least they have a DVLA office in Akwatia. So if for nothing
which
at all,
is very timely. Very timely.
If for nothing
at
all,
these politicians, they're always the same.
There's a DVLA office there which would provide some level of jobs. So no matter what, Akwatia, there are some new jobs, at least in the area.
But beyond DVLA, it's a mining community.
Oh yes, and we've had that conversation for years. Akwatia, Obuasi, we are mining diamond, Obuasi gold. And we don't. Anyways,
it's not reflecting in the lives of the people,
because the people who are doing the real mining are not Ghanaians, and so when they mine, the proceeds leave
back to their countries.
The proceeds leave. We've not invested in an indigenous mining company or a conglomerate that is focusing on proper mining, where we can say we own the resources. No, we only get bits and pieces from whatever is mined, because we are not responsible for the mining. And so when that happens, we are not getting the proceeds. And so in as much as you would compare Obuasi to Joburg, please don't try. It won't work, because
the people themselves are into it.
They're into it. We are not investing in people to build capacity. All we are good at sometimes is that when we see people doing so well, we rather find ways and means to use politics to cripple those businesses, and we are excited about it.
And those Ghanaians go elsewhere and they excel. That's quite unfortunate.
A big shame on all of us this morning. We need to grow entrepreneurs.
Yes,
support them and take the politics out.
The politics. Listen, whether you like it or not, every entrepreneur has an inkling to a political party. Every entrepreneur is aligned whichever way, whether NPP, NDC, CPP, whichever party. But the bottom line is, are they doing genuine businesses? That's what is important. Are they employing Ghanaians? Are we retaining the currency in the country? That is what is important. I mean, whether they are NPP or NDC, at the end
Lily,
of the day,
unfortunately, we are not ready for this conversation.
I know, right?
We're not ready for this conversation. So that's it. That's it for Inside Out. Shame on us.
Okay, so that should do for Inside Out, like we mentioned. Let's look at what the newspapers are reporting, and after, we'll talk some sports. So we begin with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Akwatia license from NACO. Hey. that was such. I mean, I'm not sure he mentioned we. I mean,
industrial hemp. Industrial hemp.
But if you say we license,
boys will take it differently.
You know. The public caution: President lifts ban on sale of public lands. Ghana Water Limited Kwenyako Headworks risk closure due to Charlie. No. We Power posts $45.5 million profit in 2024. Ghana tops global exporters of share in 2023. That's a good one. At least while we are closing waterworks in Kwenyako, at least we are doing well in the share market.
Well, let's check out the daily graphic. And of course, banner headline, NDC's Beidou elected Akwatia MP. Justice Tokonu's removal ignites public reaction. Committee finds her guilty of misbehavior because she traveled with her relatives and then they got per DMs. and she also transferred someone. Anyways, IGP engages Special Operations Team on Savannah conflict. There's also SDG Advisory Unit. NDPC hosts Ocean Plan Validation Workshop, and that's the daily graphic for today.
The Chronicle newspaper, 25-year-old illegally transfers 303,000 cedis from Stanbic Bank's customer's account to his Momo account. Wow.
303,000 Ghana cedis, 3.3 billion to mobile money accounts.
He even added the train, so that the charges.
But which customer? I tap into the grace of this customer. My goodness. 303,000 Ghana cedis. I want more details on this story. I would really have to get details.
I know. Police arrest 8 suspected illegal miners at Pechi number 1. Hey, your people. Akwatia by-election is over after threats and intimidations. Yes, we're done with Akwatia. The memory verse this morning, Ephesians 4:28. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but
must work. Doing something
useful with their own hands.
Hey, 303K.
Yeah, do something useful with your own hands.
But he used his hands to steal the thing.
That was something useful. Actually, yeah, sharp guy.
This guy must enter Black Maria.
but in all of this, I think maybe beyond after if he's found guilty and he's not been found guilty. Is allegedly. So if he's found guilty, if he's sentenced, if he serves incarceration, afterwards he must be put to some good use. We need to use his brain.
And that's where advanced countries would use. And you see, that's if you have a prison system that is for reformation. Else, now people are looking for him. Like, if you've been able to do this, Charlie, let's now.
Yeah, if at 25 you are doing this, Charlie. By the time you hit 30,
money
$6 billion.
But crime does not pay.
Yes.
Crime does not pay. So let's do the custodian. And I have one of my favorite lawyers in this country. You know why? The cars he drives. He drives some wicked EVs. Presidents must release reports on CJ's removal process, and that's according to Ko Esumandem. There's also petition not strong enough to warrant Tokonu's removal, Sophia Akufo. And I actually agree in some sense because, how much was the per diem? Anyway, CJ Tokonu sacked King Mahama. How controls? Please, Mahama is not a king.
He's President Mahama.
King Mahama now controls judiciary. That's according to Minority. And President lifts ban on sale of state lands. Gold price hits record high.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one for us.
The Daily Searchlight says state lands acquisition double speak. Mahama targets NPP reign but claims it is not political. NDC and lawyer Bernard Bediako win Akwatia. Jan Kodjo supports 400 graduates with data and cash. Tokono's removal was unnecessary, a sign of political and national lack of maturity. Banana Republic, Tokono's removal, rigmarole. That's according to Sophia Akufo.
So the news center is what we've got next. Says reason cited too weak to warrant CJ's removal, Sophia Akufo. Mahama's grip raises fears of supreme leader. There's also Chamber opposes reduction of mining lease years from 30 to 15. And Takwa mine to anchor goldfields long-term growth in Ghana. And there's also 500 needy students get lifeline. MTN Bright scholarships cover full tuition, stipends, accommodation, and laptops for entire study period. That's a good one. That's a good one. We get 500 people getting education there.
The Daily Statesman says Chief Justice dismissal unfair. Justice Sophia Akufo likens forces to treason trial. Ghana's democracy in peril. All power to. Why are they calling him King Mahama?
No, but that's what the Mahama is. The minority is calling John Mahama. King Mahama.
That's very
unfair.
Dr. Sidi Ulta charts bold reform agenda as new AFDB president. Yeah, he's a solid guy. Yes. But I was rooting for the woman.
Yes. Yeah. But I think he was inaugurated 2 days ago?
2 days ago, yes.
In Côte d'Ivoire. Yeah. Beautiful ceremony there.
Yeah. Azoka threatens minority leader.
Well, the Metro Lens says JM removes Tokono, Ghana's democracy in peril. All power to President Mahama. Akwatia's seat flips. NDC's Bernard Baidu takes Akwatia from the New Patriotic Party. And Musa Dankwa's prediction of a 53% win for NDC rings true. The god of Musa Dankwa.
Interestingly, yesterday, I was tempted to doubt. When the poll started, I was tempted to doubt whether is the NDC really going to carry the day? Are we going to see that 53% mark?
Yeah.
But after midday,
you realize that BB Bessie.
Anyway, so the man Musa Dankwa will join us at 8 a.m. this morning. We'll talk about Akwatia and then everything that happened.
Because he says it was the most difficult he's done.
Yes.
Very difficult.
Yes. What made it difficult for him? Yeah. And at some point, I'm sure he had palpitations, especially when some elements within the NPP threatened to mock him. Yeah, and for parenthesis' sake, slaughter him, not but they threatened to.
These days when you're doing this, you have to be careful.
That's what I'm saying, not but in quotes.
Even the it's.
They threatened to slaughter him. Well, God of Musa Dankwa. Anyway.
So the Informer newspaper says acquisition of cannabis license NACOC wants public. On Chief Justice Ayiko to reject grounds for removal. NPP standard bearer race attaching Apupu's wealth theory. And President must not appoint Chief Justice to strengthen judicial independence. And that's according to Martin Pebu. And GHOne Mensah, deputies face removal. That's a prediction from University Dawn. And then sale of state or public lands, Mahama gives green light. Oh, Charlie. He's lifted the ban, but
it doesn't mean that you can go and buy it. Yeah. Right. The Daily Guide says NDC's Bidi Akubedu wins Akwatia's seat. The law is the law. Nation divided over CJ removal. Mahama lifts ban on state land sale. Talk on removal, judicial coup, as according to the minority.
Well, let's do the business and financial times this morning. MOFA moves to address palm oil production shortfall. There's also India forges brain bridge to tackle shared economic challenges. Telecel launches SME Month 2025 to champion youth-led businesses. And DVLA sets 60% revenue growth target and vows crackdown on corruption. I think DVLA can rake in so much revenue if the Guru Boys are out of business. And Clara B. Arthur assumes office as CEO of GIPS, captured on the front page of the BNFT. Right, so that's it for the newspapers. You can get copies on the various newsstands to be able to get details, especially the story about the 25-year-old boy. I want to read a chronicle this morning. I really want to do that.
Please. And then let's make sure
John's
that
age
if he's found guilty, let him face the full rigors
Absolutely.
of the law. You know, Jones is within the 20-year range. So he's thinking, Charlie, what can I do in my 20-year range that I'm living on?
Keep working.
Anyway, that should do for the newspapers. Let's head to the sports world.
Right,
okay.
It's time to do the sports. And my brother from Hodome has joined. ADZI and is outside.
Well,
I like Hodome. They are very hospitable. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean,
I've been there before.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to celebrate the Ayam festival with them.
Oh, okay.
Charlie, they treated me so good. The chiefs and people were so hospitable.
Say it again. Hodome.
Yeah.
The voter.
Hodome.
Is it only the chiefs and people?
Yes. Yes.
Livo! I'm proud of you.
Then we visited Hobam.
So visit Hodome.
I'll
put that here. Visit
Hodome. Yeah.
Well, you guys talked about Musa Dankwa. And in the world of football and sports, the boys are calling for him.
Oh!
So they may give us odds. Because if we can do it,
sure odds.
So please, let him know that Mr. Musa Dankwa, from the world of odds, bets, and football, maybe you might not know, but we trust you that you can do something.
So, but Musa
calling on you.
Dankwa is Muslim and they do not do betting. They don't
Prediction.
gamble.
We
don't gamble.
We are not telling. We are not
He should
asking-
predict for you to gamble with that.
Exactly.
He cannot do that.
He should
I'm
give
sorry.
us so like tomorrow's game.
I'm sorry.
With the data and analysis.
Okay.
He said
so
something.
you should
Yesterday-
back it with science.
Exactly. Yesterday I watched when he was on. He said polls is not science and science is science. And we don't care. Mr. Musa Dankwa, we beg you, come for the boys. Save the boys today.
The economy
Give
is
us-
yours.
Tell us
The
that.
sports economy is not the house of Musa Dankwa.
From data, the Black Stars can score 4 goals. So we'll do over 2.5, 3.5. That's what we want from Mr.
Okay.
Musa. Because right now, all over the
Keep
charts,
dreaming.
we believe him. We
Yeah.
trust him.
Yeah.
So Mr. Musa Dankwa,
Musa for the mullah.
yes, Musa for the boys. Come and save the boys. Because Manchester City.
Well, I'm sure I can put that to him at the end when he
Please
joins
tell
us on
him.
Zoom.
We'll
Yeah.
cut this one and even tag him there. But you know, I mean, my Black Stars jersey, because there's good news.
Oh, is
There's
there?
a reset happening in the Black Stars management team.
Allah,
And so for the very first time, Minister has come out to say that bonuses for our management team members is cancelled.
Hey,
So, you know, some time back in 2022,
Wait.
yeah,
every bonus.
for the management team,
Team
winning
of-
bonus, the winning bonus.
So
The-
every
Winning bonus.
Wait,
Yeah.
every win of the Black Stars, the management team member will not get bonus.
no winning bonus.
Hey,
So they are saying that he gave an example. We are going to watch the video now.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the video now. But he gave an example that the last AFCON qualifiers that we missed on, we won some games. They got winning bonuses, but we didn't get to qualify.
Yeah.
So what's the essence
I
of
agree.
being there if we can't qualify?
We should set targets.
So if we do qualify for the World Cup, we'll give you something.
I like it.
So let's just get to watch the minister who, I mean, yesterday. So you know they revealed the budgets.
okay.
Before, for the first time, we are seeing the budget of the Black Stars before they play the games.
Reset.
They promised that, and it has been delivered, and it happened yesterday.
Thought that it was not appropriate to pay winning bonuses to management team members. Because if you are a management team member, your duty is to ultimately qualify, supervise the team, manage the team in such a way that the team will qualify for, say, if it is African Cup or World Cup. If for every game won, we are going to be paying you bonus, what if we did not win enough games to qualify for the tournament that we are supposed to go, and therefore we don't get anything? Like, Ghana played some qualifying matches for the African Cup of Nations that will be hosted by Morocco. We won a few and we lost a number, and so we didn't qualify. Per the previous arrangement, management team members will be paid winning bonuses. But at the end of the day, the team didn't qualify to go for African Cup of Nations at all. So they are not even benefiting from anything that will come for participation because we didn't qualify to participate. But those you put in charge to manage would have received some money. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama thinks otherwise. That no, supervise, you will be given your per diem, but you will not be paid any winning bonus. Manage the team, supervise the team, let the team qualify for the tournament. And when it does, you will be rewarded appropriately. So the management, the 6-7 management team members are no longer part of those who take the winning bonus.
Well. So they'll receive per diems. I mean, if it is 100 cedis, they'll receive. But then for the winning bonus, they ask for the management team members there. We are saying that when you qualify us there, then when we get to Keda, we'll talk about the winning bonus. Well, there's also some good news with regards to the bonus for the coach. From the GFA had an estimation of $20,000, but then the ministry says, oh no, they have to, slash it and make it half. So for all the coaches and Coach Otuado, they'll receive $10,000 instead of $20,000. Let's watch that from the sports minister.
Coach or the coaches and the technical team members, including the physician, the physiotherapists, the physical trainers, the masseur, the kids officers, video analysts, all those persons are also paid winning bonuses, but they are all paid half of what has been agreed for the qualifiers. We agreed that we give them half. You will not be paid full. When we ultimately qualifies, the remaining 50% can then be given you. If we don't, you forfeit the remaining 50%.
Well, so some good news there for us, and the selection. We'll give you full updates on that on the game today at 1 p.m. Everything you need to know, how much the GFA brought and how much the ministry has approved. Significant amount of money has been slashed down by the sports ministry. Well, talking about the Black Stars, you see them, they've arrived. Yes, in Chad right about now. They're going to be taking on opponents from Chad. There you see Mohammed Kudus and Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, we were all worried that he will not be able to play the match because of the court issues. Well, we understand that the court has adjourned his case to the 15th of September, so he will allow Thomas Partey to be part of the Black Stars and play for us there. So there you see the arrival of the Stars in Chad there. So we wish them all the best. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., that game will be live here on Star 103.5 FM, not on TV. We'll bring you live commentary of the game between the Black Stars of Ghana and Chad. Well, the police ladies who are in the CAF Champions League qualifiers lost to ASEC Mimosa 4-1. So our dreams of getting to Africa proper, trust me, ASEC Mimosa a big side. And we're coming this far by grace for police ladies, but they lost yesterday to ASEC Mimosa of La Côte d'Ivoire there. And let's end off with the US Open. It is getting very, very interesting. And you will see some of the ladies who have been doing so well. And Iga Swiatek, and then, of course, Naomi Osaka making it to the semi-final. So today, obviously, Alcaraz won 3 straight sets. Yes, and Anisimova also making it to getting a win. Well, today we'll see some fixtures happening today, and in the so Djokovic obviously beating Taylor Fritz 3 on Olga Aliasamin, and then Anisimova in the quarterfinals taking on Iga Swiatek. Big one today up against US national there, and then Bukova taking on Naomi Osaka. So Iga Swiatek and Naomi Osaka eyeing semi-final places in the US Open for today. Right? That should do it for the sports chat this morning. And
now you can go outside.
Yeah, we outside. We are still waiting for Mr. Musa Dankwa. We beg him. Oh no! I've seen a lot of comments under his post that he should come through for the boys.
Anyway, thank you very much, Jones, for the sports chat. That should do. We take a break here. When we come back, it's Wednesday, right? And so it's an all-female ensemble. I see the way Joshua is smiling.
Oh, we are still mourning. Akwatia, bye-bye.
We're back shortly. Welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV. You know that on Wednesdays there's an all-female ensemble. Pretty shortly I'll let you in on who my guests are. But let's still stay on Akwatia, and one of our men on the ground who is ahead of political desk and my producer Ibrahim Alassan is still in Akwatia. So this is how Akwatia looks on a very fine Wednesday morning after the NDC secured that victory, after the prediction of Musa Dankwa came to pass, after the people of Akwatia, a lot of them told our reporters that they are eager for development. Is that what was reflective after the results of yesterday's polls? My colleague Ibrahim Alassan joins me. Abi, good morning to you. Yesterday, I was quite worried about you. I kept asking if you're safe. I kept asking you to stay safe. It's good to see you again. How are you doing morning after?
Well, we're good. Akwatia is good. It's as if nothing happened. As you can see, the activities have returned to normalcy. The drivers who were divided as to who they were voting for, some of them have been able to marshal the courage, regardless of the fact that their candidate lost. And they've made it work because they have to earn their keep. Others are in a very jubilant mood, and then they have showed up this morning as well to work. By and large, as you touch on security, this was one of the most peaceful by-elections I have personally witnessed. And probably that's because the police over-prepared for this. When it comes to security, there's nothing like over-preparedness. And so it worked in the favor of the police. So, with the exception of a few incidences, but what's a by-election? What's an election in general? Without some of these spices. So there was a gentleman in Wenchi who had gone to stand by a police armored truck. And before then he had had an altercation with a policeman. And so the policeman, according to the accounts of the gentleman, got him bundled into the armored vehicle. And he didn't return without a few bruises, which subsequently will bring to viewers as well. And then, of course, we can talk about Sofo Azoka and his altercation with the third national vice chairman for the NPP, and then the incident with Afenyo Markin's bodyguard. But like I said, these are spices that make coverage of by-elections and elections in general quite interesting. Let's go to Hanan, and subsequently we'll also go to Kodjo. These gentlemen have done everything humanly possible to bring you all the visuals, all the interviews that you saw that have been trending. Reason why some people are in trouble. We'll get to that. And of course, so Hanan, what would you say your experience in Akwatia for the past 4 days have been like?
Well, it's a mixture of good, but largely good. So, just like you said, just a few issues here and there, but largely did not affect the process, especially, neither the outcome. But I would say also, given the fact that we know of what happened in Talensi, we also saw what happened in Asin North, even though there was no too much of it. But we will say that in the last decade, as we've witnessed by-elections, the Akwatia by-election has been largely peaceful. And what happened between Alhaji Masaudu and Chief Sofo Azoka, did not mar the process at all, because it was not even at a polling station to start with. So it was just something that, like you said, just spiced up the whole election here. And I must also say that, just like you said, we had quite a number of people, commending the police, especially with how they did the deployment from Asamankese through to Kede, Kusi, Tapramase, and all those areas. If you check how they've erected these barriers or barricades to check everybody that is coming in, up until the township proper of Akwatia, where you realize that even the people themselves were saying that they've never seen this number of police presence in their town. And the Black Maria truck, I must say, did the magic. Everybody was talking about it. They were surprised that they were seeing an inscription on a police vehicle that says Black Maria. And that is how come the Peace Council, especially Sheikh Armia, when he was engaging some of the traders, the drivers, especially the youth, he cautioned them that do not make any mistake for you to be bundled into the Black Maria truck. It is not a pleasant experience. So I must say it worked, and that is how come we've seen the youth did not, actually come out to cause any trouble. And of course, some of them we know were minding their business. Some of them went to the farm, and all that. But I must say that the turnout, was quite low, and they blame it on the day being a working day. I don't know whether we should switch holding a by-election from a working day to the weekend.
Okay, so generally by-elections, the numbers are low because of many factors.
Of course, yeah.
The critical factor is that this is a community of Akwatia. The occupation here, farming, mining. But aside that, there are many indigents who have also made their way outside the constituency in search of better conditions of living. Some are in Accra, some are travel. When the general election, because of the advantage of having to choose a president, many people come home. But in the case of by-election, they will choose to stay away rather than waste resources and come just to choose an MP. So those factors are there. So by and large, by-elections will record low turnout. But I think in some polling stations, as we visited, we're told the turnouts were higher than even the general election in 2024. So after it's all said and done, I'm sure we'll realize that this by-election, the one that took place yesterday here in Akwatia, will record higher turnout than many other previous ones, right? But nonetheless, I agree with you that by-elections generally record low turnout. Kodjo also joined us to share his experience. But of course, Lily, as you mentioned, the issues have got to do with development. And yesterday, as I told you, you speak to the supporters of both sides. They talk about development. But then they pin it down to the fact that the NDC supporters say the development can best be delivered by the party in power. The MPP supporters say no, the development can best be delivered by Kwame Asumedu, who is a philanthropist. He owns a mining company. He employs many young men and women in this constituency. But you and I know that when you subject these claims to a litmus test, the state's authority, its power, its might, is always mightier. And that's what prevailed. Kodjo, take us through what your experience has been like.
Well, so, I mean, I must say, Akwatia, as we do, though, I mean, we've been covering elections here, and we've not recorded such peaceful nature of election. Even in internal elections, among the NDC, NPP, it has not been smooth like this. And so, I must say, the police did very well. I mean, the heavy police presence and the security situation helped to ensure there is peace in this constituency. Essentially, when we came 3-4 days ago, I mean, some of the people were telling us that Akwatia, they've never voted and declared election same day. So we're not going to leave, Wednesday. We will leave around Friday because
I remember.
Yes. So that is the perception among even the people who are here. But by and large, I mean, the election has been peaceful, and that is the ultimate thing that most people were looking at. We were talking about other things that happened. In fact, economically, I mean, I've been speaking to a lot of people, and they're telling me that economically, this by-election has brought a lot of things here. Hotels were booked about a month ago, and I mean, you come in here 4, 5 days, 6 days ago, you are not going to get any place to sleep. And people have booked hotels 10 days, 2 weeks, and so they've cashed in both those domestic food sellers.
And I must say that is from Akwatia to Kede.
Yes,
Asamankese. You know the team has to be at Asamankese and travel all the way to Akwatia.
So economically, I mean, it has also boosted the local economy, and people have cashed in. And you were talking about development. I spoke with the regional minister, and she told me that by-election has challenged the government.
Of course.
To do something here. Other than that, I mean, they will not have any message to deliver again in the next coming election. So obviously, we're going to see a lot more development in Akwatia. And I mean, she told me that going forward, Akwatia will be like a baby project to the government, and they're going to, deliver.
Just right on.
All right. So we will allow you to join Musa Dankwa, and then you come back to us to wrap up here. And so back to you in the studio, Lily. Engage the poster of the movement,
the man of the moment.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations to you on the field. We'll come back to you shortly. But as IB mentioned, we've been joined via Zoom by the man of the moment, Musa Dankwa. He's Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics. Mr. Dankwa, good morning to you. I guess it is a good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing a day after your polls prediction came to pass? You predicted a sizable margin and you were spot on.
It's a normal day for me, engaging the media, trying to explain what we did. Nothing special, but I'm relieved that I've not been taken to the slaughterhouse.
I have seen posts by you where you're saying Alhamdulillah and all that. At any point in this poll or in this election, were you scared that your prediction might go other way?
Yes, in the exit poll around midday to 2 o'clock, the data was showing MPP was leading with about 3 points in the exit poll. And I got a bit worried, but then I decided to dig deep into the data. When I dug deep, I realized that among the accounts, the race was 50-50. And I said, okay, then why is it so close? Then I looked at the other ethnic minority groups. They were saying they were voting for MPP's candidate. So that was an eyebrow. This is an eyebrow. I said, okay, these guys are just playing with us. Excuse me. And then when I looked at the data again, to see how many of NS community people are voting for Bedu. And I realized that number is about 16%. And I said, okay, even though MPP was leading, they will lose.
Let's look at the methodology and the fact that you also stated that sympathy vote was not going to suffice. Do you think that the people who voted for the NPP did not vote on sympathy patterns or sympathy lines?
Only 5% of them did so. Only 5% of those who mentioned sympathy voted for MPP candidate. 50% of the people who said, look, we want development, about 60% went for NDC. And development was half of the concerns of the people. So whereas the people were concerned about development, MPP was pivoting on sympathy, which only accounted for only 5% of their concern. So they were again, pivoting on sympathy when the people were pivoting on development.
Was there at any point that you doubted yourself? Many persons, especially from the opposition NPP, were calling you a lotto forecaster.
I have never doubted what we do at Global Info Analytics. I have full confidence in the people we use in the field, full confidence in our methodology, and full confidence in our objectivity in the way we administer polls in the field. I will always trust my data, even if it leads me to a dead end, than follow my emotions.
What does this then tell us about reliability of Ghanaian polls? I mean, very often, a lot of these polls miss the mark, especially after post-general election predictions.
You see, I think over the years, we have become known to the public. We have distinguished ourselves in the eyes of the public. The public trusts us to convey their messages to the people of this country. They trust us to let us tell the government what is wrong and what is right. And for that reason, when we go to the field, because we are kind of identified as global influencers, people are truthful with us. And also, we don't seek to solicit certain type of answers. We go with very unbiased questions. And that gives them the confidence that we are very good in what we do.
Do you think that, looking back, there's anything different you do in your approach towards polling, especially for by-elections for swing seats like Akwatia?
We wish everybody can read and write, so that when we come to the field, we'll hand over the advice to you and for you to answer the questions yourself without us knowing what you are choosing. In many cases, people are not literate, so we have to ask them the questions and point the responses on the system. And that is where sometimes they lie to us. And that's what we saw yesterday. For example, if you are an ethnic minority group in a heavily Akan area, you don't want to expose yourself as to who you are voting for. Sometimes it comes to the price. So those people would have been able to answer the questions comfortably without telling us. We wish everybody could do this survey on their own in the field.
Now, listening to some of the NDC communicators yesterday, after the results were announced, a lot of them say that the results were a testament of the fact that they won the 2024 elections in Akwatia. From your interactions through the conducting of the polls, was that the case? Do you think that the NDC won in 2024 for the Akwatia seat?
Look, from what we saw, I don't think NDC won the seat.
Okay.
Because among those who voted yesterday, when we asked them who did you vote for in the last election, Kumi was still leading.
Okay. Okay. Now, would a different candidate have sufficed for the NPP?
Anybody better than this candidate could have done better.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what options they have for me to assess, but certainly not Amase. Amase was doing poorly against all the NDC candidates except Yadom Boachi. Certainly, and Amase would have lost because the demography of Akwatia has changed from when she won the election. If she runs again in Akwatia, she will lose.
And if the NDC, I beg your pardon, had also stuck with what the NPP did with an acclamation of, let's say, the person that stood for them in 2024, would the results be different?
NDC would have lost the seat, hands down, if they had presented Yadom Boachi against Solomon.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, let's look at the results of Akwatia. After the death of the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, there were calls by leading members of the NPP that the NDC should also do the same in honor of the memory of NSC Alkumi. If the NDC had heeded to those calls, would this have been the biggest political blunder?
Probably yes. Democracy is not about emotions. It's about the law. The law says if someone dies, there must be by-election. That's the law. And the law is the law. So you don't use emotions in advancing democracy. Look, if you stay out of Tamale Central, that could have been an opportunity that you could use to test some of your candidates who may not be known now and make them known in the subsequent elections. Now you are not contesting. You've lost that opportunity. It is not always the intention to go in and win, but to see how well your candidate will do and what will be his strengths and weaknesses for the future elections. So you can work on it.
Now, the NPP keeps doubting your works. What are your thoughts on this?
They kept doubting science.
Okay.
Look, even if NDC pays me and I conduct my work scientifically, objectively, who will be the loser if you don't use the data? NDC has paid for the data given to you to use and say you won't use it because NDC paid me. Look, in the US, I'm not saying that I'm an NDC person. I'm absolutely not linked to NDC. But in the US, we have Democratic-leaning posters and GOP-leaning posters. They report that the issue is not tagged GOP or DNC polls. It is an opinion poll. Once the methodology is solid, once it is objective and scientific, you don't care who did the survey.
Now, do you plan to conduct follow-up polls, like, say, MP satisfaction? Do you plan to do such?
We do that as part of the national tracking poll when we go to the constituencies. So we would bring that back into the survey again, and then we can see areas that we visit for the October polls, how they are rating their MPs. Yes, we will do that.
And what does this also mean for future election forecasting in Ghana?
I think we have come to cement our role as a very credible independent process in this country. Not only that, but also do other commercial service for other clients. We have raised the bar for polling in this country. We should not, and even indeed the media should not take polls that do not provide aggregation and disaggregation. The only way you know a poll is credible, is scientific, is genuine, is when they are able to provide it with demographic analysis. How many of them do that in this country? None.
I'm going to ask this interesting question. There are so many calls. I'm sure you've even cited them on social media about polling for sports, for football especially. A lot of young people are clamoring for that. And even this morning, GHOne Saji, our sports presenter, also called for such. Is that something that you'd like to look into?
Even if I can do it, my religious belief doesn't allow me to do that. I'm a Muslim.
But this is to tell whether maybe the Ghana Black Stars against Chad Black Stars will win by this, by that. Or that is not within your reach.
You know, those are not science-based.
Okay.
And any prediction that's not based on science, but some voodoo, I don't get involved in that.
So you think that for the sports lovers, if you venture into that, that would mean that you're venturing into voodooism?
Absolutely.
Okay. For political watchers and politicians watching, do you think that it is time for them to take data, science, and polls seriously?
Data and science has been used in politics elsewhere for more than 50 years. Only in Ghana that we have kind of put that to the background and use prophecies and propaganda. They must realize that the kind of people we have now as voters are different voters. They need to be convinced. They need to be engaged in a scientific way. If they don't, they will be shocked.
Let me quickly jump back to Akwatia before I let you go. The NDC went into a primaries. The NPP handpicked a candidate. Should the NPP have also allowed for a primaries in Akwatia?
It is always good to have contest. Always good to have a contest.
Okay.
That is the beauty of democracy. If it is acclamation and the delegates in Akwatia came together and said, we are acclaiming this guy openly and without whipping, that is also democracy. But clearly that is not what we saw in Akwatia.
Okay, Mr. Dankwa, thank you very much. Are you going to do any forecasting for the candidates that are going head-to-head for the Tamale Central seat? Are you doing any forecasting for Tamale Central?
I don't think it's worth my resources. It is too obvious who will become the MP, so I don't want to.
But there are 12 candidates going head-to-head.
Yeah, you're going to be an NDC candidate. So the value for me is not there.
Okay. Mr. Dankwa, thank you very much. And once again, congratulations to you. At least you are not taken to the slaughterhouse. That was said in jest, by the way.
It's my pleasure.
Have a good day. So that's Mensah Dankwa. He's Executive Director for the Global Info Analytics. And in studio, I've been joined by Awoke Kelly. Later on, we'll be joined by Joyce Usabefi Esquire. She's a member of the NPP communications team. But I've been joined by Awoke Kelly. She's a regular here. She's a member of the NDC communications team. She has white in there. I don't know whether it's a celebratory mode. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, yourself?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for asking.
It can be better.
I know. Does Akwatia surprise you? Mensah Dankwa predicted 53%. You polled 54%. Does it surprise you?
No. Greetings to our viewers this morning and to all those who went to Akwatia. I wasn't able to go.
Okay.
And my boss, Akugan, they are the submarine workers. I remember when we went to Asin North, they never slept. Himself and the deputy organizer, Kobe Ballon. We just want to say congratulations to the new MP-elects, to the party, and to all the people of Akwatia and Ghana. At least we were expecting bloodshed and all those chemistries, but we thank God that nothing of that sort happened. Everybody went there with peace. I said that we were going into the election with peace because we know we are winning. And so I don't know why we should go there trying to foment trouble or go to look for the trouble of people, especially as a governing party. We don't need that on our slates. And our people did well. They've been on the grounds since, even before the August thing happened. Dr. Omanibo Amami, so rest in peace, had his own plan, and he started meeting the executives of Eastern region prior to this. So I was surprised when all those languages were coming at a funeral, that we don't have shame as NDC. That's because they decided to not to contest Tamale Central. We should have done the same. Before Tamale Central, we were going to Akwatia because Akwatia was in court. We were contesting Akwatia already before this thing happened. But it's unfortunate when you see senior members of the opposition speak certain languages, like the former vice president, who is supposed to be a statesman. You saying we killed the man because we took him to court. So why then didn't they kill the president, the former, when he was the former president, like he was the president in the first administration? After taking him through that pain in courts for 8 bad and ugly months, you now had the guts to stand at a funeral that you were mourning 1 year for own. I'm sure Kumi won't be resting because he will be disappointed in his people. But that wasn't the time to even do what they did. You saw how our party chairman was heckled. They tried to stop them from entering the funeral grounds and all that. And I was so much disappointed when the party itself never came out to even condemn that. But you see, if it were to be the NDC, they would have been on the airways by this time shouting, making noises, ugly ones at that. But look at what they did. None of them. And we have the former vice president go say all those things. When you took... Then it means that... I don't want to talk bad of the dead, so I won't even go into that. But Ghanaians have spoken once again. The people of Akwatia have spoken. Someone was in the makeup room was like, oh, NDC, you want to take everything. It's not about NDC. It's about Ghana. People are tired of the MPP. We know what they took us through these 8 years. It was even difficult for people to feed twice a day. So it was 0-1-0 for most people in this country. We saw the kind of things, the corruption, the incompetence that was displayed, the arrogance of power, the kind of things they did in this country. You went into an election, 2024, and this thing had never happened under this republic. And you've not even learned anything. That arrogance is still there. That entitlement spirit is still with them. Forgetting that you don't even have that number in parliament to even work for your work for Ghana. And even that, we are not even troubling you. We just want to make sure that Ghana is running smoothly. But I'm happy. One of the women I watched on social media who spoke from Akwatia, that you came, you couldn't campaign on anything. You were talking about Galamsey. They don't want their children doing Galamsey. They want their children to go to school. So they were looking up to the lawyer that if he was able to stay in that community and go to school and become a lawyer of his caliber, then they want their children also to look up to such people, not to people preaching galamsey to them. When we want to kill galamsey, or we want the right things done when it comes to mining in this country. And this was the message they took. I remember on Friday, I was on one of your sister stations, and they were like, yeah, we are going to the galamsey site. We'll see what they will do to us. And I said, wow, this is unfortunate to be coming from them. Yeah. So it's like they were trying to ride on the back of the unfortunate situations. But thank God, Ghanaians are now enlightened. At least the 2024 election should have given them a clear message. But you see, they are not learning.
We should have given them a clear message. How? Because if you listen to Musa Dankwa, he said that the NDC lost in Akwatia in 2024.
No problem. So why are we winning now? We went to a rerun in Ablekuma North. We took that seat. That has been their stronghold. I share a border with Ablekuma North. So I know we sometimes had to leave our constituency to run to that place because there were certain areas. We don't go and ask of who won. We ask of the margin.
Okay.
And this is a place that this time around, we went and we beat them there, we beat them here, and I'm like, whoa, then it means we are taking that seat. And the people are seeing the good works of this government. Our exchange rates are going down. School fees is now better because we are even paying for the first year students of our tertiary education. We are paying a lot. I know that governance is a continual thing, but we never came making noise about it. We didn't come lamenting. We didn't come blaming them. We are making sure that things are being put in the right perspectives. We are doing the right things so that Ghanaians will now live a life that they are supposed to. Not we waking up, you don't know where the next meal is going to come from. We were owing left, right, center. For the first time under, not under this republic, in this, the story of our democracy, this, the past government went to ECOWAS borrowing grains. Something that has never happened. We went to borrow grains. When this thing came up, I was like, how did we sink this low? So people are saying this. So for me, Akwatia wasn't going to be like, they were talking about it being a swing seat. I said, fine, it is, or it was, but we're going to take this seat because the people of Akwatia themselves have seen the good works of this government. And they know that this government is not here to look for something personal for ourselves. You know, I had issues when the president is like, we are cutting this. This morning I saw that you were even discussing one. Because I always say that we look for the money. We try to cut everything down. We make ourselves so uncomfortable in government. If you are an appointee, you have a lot of things you don't enjoy. Like our predecessors did, or they do anytime they are in power. They are given the luxury because they are in power. As soon as we come, we want to cut, we want to make sure Ghanaians are also, we're feeling how the Ghanaians are feeling. Then, bad luck, when we lose, they come and destroy everything. And we have to come and rebuild. So sometimes, I say that we know we are socialists. They should also make things a little flexible for us. So that people who are taking care of other institutions knows that, no matter what, I'm serving Ghana and I'm also a little comfortable because honestly, these people never gave us any chance to even feel comfortable in this country. We saw the likes of MPA, though they say it's an alleged thing, we saw a whole lot of monies that people just mismanaged in this country. So people like Akwatia, we say thank you. We are grateful unto them for the the trust they have in this government. We will not disappoint them. We will not disappoint Ghanaians. We will make sure that everybody has his own share of the cake.
And not disappointing the people of Akwatia. Did you genuinely mean the things you said as NDC? You said to them that, they should vote for you, you're bringing development to them, or you just said it so that they will vote for you?
No. Sweetheart, if you look at what we have started, we are going to make sure that everybody in this country will have its own share of the national cake. We've started paying for first-year students. I'm sure we have students from Akwatia or children from Akwatia who are also enjoying this. So it's not going to be like we just went promising. And it's not, NDC has not been the type who promise, but we deliver. We come to you, realize that the GHOne needs this. We give you what you need at that particular point in time. So that's how we have been doing all these things. When you look at the first administration of this president, His Excellency, you realize that in 2016, it wasn't like because we want votes. But we realized that you go to this area, this development is needed. And it was not something we promised in 2012 elections. So most of the things, we saw that Ghanaians needed them, we needed them, and it was given to Ghanaians. So that is what we are going to do to Akwatia, and not Akwatia alone. All the regions and every constituent, whether we have the MPs or not, we are going to make sure that we work for Ghana. We are all Ghanaians first. And it's Ghanaians that brought this party, that's the NDC, into government. So we are not going to disappoint them. I don't think the party will even sit to watch the government do that. So it's not just a promise.
I asked Musa Dankwa this, and I'm going to ask you too. Prior to going into Akwatia, there were a lot of calls that, you should not contest Akwatia in the spirit of morality, in the spirit of love for one another, because the NPP has decided to abstain from Tamale Central. Do you think that as a political party, if you had indeed abstained from Akwatia, this would have been the biggest political blunder you would have committed?
Yes. You see, between Akwatia and Tamale Central, the dynamics are different. We did not ask the MPP not to contest. And prior to this Tamale Central, like I said, we were going to Akwatia already. The case was in court. So we couldn't have disappointed our people who thought at that time that they won that election, or a lot of things went on wrongly because it was the MPP that was in power. They tried to manipulate things, and so we should take this thing to court. And we did that. So we couldn't have said that, because MPP said they are not going into Akwatia, we are also not going into, they are not going to Tamale Central, so we won't go. Then we wouldn't have treated our people fairly. This is a party that people have joined with their hearts, their souls, and their spirits. So you can't just do things just awkwardly or on top of your emotions to say, because MPP said so. They have their reasons for not going. If you look at the late MP, my sister, he even got votes more than the president got in that area. So
the presidential candidate, you mean?
Yes. Then. So they themselves looking at where they are coming from and the kind of work that has been done and what is going on. The Akwatia seat you said is for you. Fine, we went to contest it. And we said we were going to contest before now. So the Tamale Central seat is for the NDC already. And per the good work the MP was doing there, it was going to be really difficult for them. And so I even pity whoever is going to win that election, because he's going to step into a very huge and a big shoe that he really, really have to make sure he adjusts properly so that he or she can maintain that seat for us for a very, very long time in the history of this republic. So those two things are not same. Honestly, if you look at Akwatia and you look at Tamale Central, I'm sure they themselves got scared that no, we should, or they thought they could use that one as a bait. But no, our people, before all this, we always go to our people. When the man died, who said we didn't do underground work? But we're told we want that seat. And so if we come back, we are going to take it. We shouldn't leave it for the MPP. At every point in time, party consults. Party does not just do things because we feel that we have to do. Party consults, because I have heard this from big people in the party at a point that they wish they wouldn't have gone into that election. But it wasn't for the party up there to say. It's the grassroots who owns the party. And so whatever they say, we have to. They have decided to build their party from the sky down. Because that's what they are doing. They are putting foundations in the sky. I don't know how it's going to hold. That is how the party is not even holding in the first place. So if I were the MPP, I will sit back and really go into whatever we did wrong, how structures have not worked properly in the party for the past 8 years, so that they can now restructure and make sure that they put their party on track before going to look for a flag bearer. Because whatever they are on, the mission they are on is one for a disaster. Mission that they are going to kill their party more. Because your grassroots is saying something. The big men up there are saying different things. They are making sure that they are not listening to their people. And so whatever they feel is right for them, or what they will be comfortable in, is what they are doing. And that is what is killing their party. And since they are not ready to learn, we leave them to their fate. They can build. I've never seen a house being built without a foundation. And this is what the Bible says. The winds will come, the storms will come, and it will come flying down. And that is the MPP for you. We will wish them well, because this is not a one-party state. And so we need opposition to put us on our toes, to make sure that when we are going wrong, someone will call us. But I thank God that we have a party that even when our own are doing wrong, we make sure that when we heard the names of our organizer and our deputy secretary, were they not asked by Iyoko to come report the investigations going on? So these are the things we are speaking about. But if you have a party that you want to cover up everything and make sure that President Kufuor said it once, that he wouldn't name his party people who are doing wrong, so that they won't say his government is corrupt. So these are some of the things that they will go through. But if they will listen to good voices of Ghanaians and their people, they should rather restructure properly and then come back and do whatever they want to do.
In the spirit of restructuring, do you think the NPP should also have allowed for a contest? Because for your party, you allowed for a contest. You didn't do the popular acclamation like they did.
Yeah. We are in a democracy. And this thing affected them in 2008. And I think partly for the NDC in 2016. Because we want this particular person. You want to impose another person on us as a party. And it doesn't work that way. Why do we have the democracy then? Then we should rather say that your party is not a democratic party. Meanwhile, you are the ones who taught yourself as the best democracy and all that in this country. So they should have just allowed the people to choose whoever they wanted. But for us, it's a good thing. For me, it speaks volume that their party is dying. And so if they have anything to look at, these are some of the things they should look at. You are doing things, you did it 2024. It's worked against you massively. You've been given another opportunity. Why don't you right the wrongs? But you have decided to rather go on the tangent of bourgeois. That's elitism thing. We want to do this. And you see, that's what they did to the widow of Ablekuma North. The woman wanted to contest. You came out that she shouldn't go and contest, or you are not contesting. So the woman couldn't even gather herself properly to do things right. She was confused. So she decided that, no, let me go. Even if I lose, then I know I have gone. And that is the spirit of competition. It's not a do or die thing. You are there. She has gone. She was a one-time MP. She lost to Sheila Battles. She came back and she won the primaries. So why allow these things to go on when people are not happy with the top? Unfortunately, the chairman is not well, and so I don't know who is acting. The deputy, or they call it first vice and all that. I don't know who is stepping in that shoe to sit up and say that, no, we are not doing things right. Let's make sure we are doing things right so that the party can now reorganize properly. You are listening to some few people and you are doing things wrong. People are not happy. They are moving with this because that is the wind. If they don't, we know of the Alan Chairman teams and all that, people who have gone out of the party because they wanted to stand on their grounds when things were not done properly. So they should have allowed the people to choose their own. That's why Tamale Central, we are not saying that because it was a tragedy that happened, so we are just bringing a Messi or that was a handpicked somebody. It should have been the best because when you want to go through this pain of having to say things or having not to say things, it is disheartening. But we still allow people pick forms. We'll go into the primaries. Whoever comes out winner, we rally around the person. And thank God we don't even have a competition. But still there'll be an election to see that if the people of even Tamale Central want that person, then we know how we are going.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me take a break here. When I return, we'll talk about the removal of the Chief Justice, Gertrude Abasaki-Tokun.
What's the name? Is it Drabin? The MP who said that when they lose Akwatia, he will resign as an MP. And I saw some apology. I don't know, but me, I've seen a fake stamp on one of them. So it means that we have one by-election also, aside the Tamale Central one. One by-election, MPPC, that one we are going to take. We are going to make sure that we wipe them off parliaments. So,
but that will not inure to the benefits of practicing democracy.
Who asked him to say that? We did not. You see, he was speaking like a man who was having an orgasm. When you're having orgasm, you just say anything that you don't mean. And as an MP, somebody who represents his people, you don't just come and open your mouth and say things like that. Aden, was he on bed? No, he was on campaign grounds. So it means he said, he means it. And if he meant it, we have one way.
Does that also not speak to you politicians that you should be mindful of the things you say, especially in the heat of the moment?
Of course, of course. For me, I have always been careful because this seat is a very hot one. True. If you are not careful, especially a host who is a little bit controversial, not like you, will just push you into a corner and that thing will be played. Yes, that's true. Some people can really be mischievous. We've met a lot of them, especially when you are in opposition. It is even bad. They will want to corner you. So if you are not careful, the kind of things that will come out of your mouth, they will even brand it as the party's stand and not a personal one. Like I was saying this. So mostly when I'm saying something that is not coming from the party, I want to say that from our Kelly. It is not coming from...
that is your personal stance?
Yes. Okay. So, IGP, your man, we are grateful for the good work done. And EC, Adukwe and Bossman, another by-election, loading. Let me come to Chief Justice. I'm not happy. You see, the reason being that women in authority, we are very few.
True.
Women in public service who have risen to certain positions, we don't have much of them. So when I see a woman put herself in this position, it worries me a bit. Because
which position you mean?
You push yourself to a corner that you have to be taken out of where you were sitting or standing. For me, it's worrying. And I don't know why people are making so much noise about this thing. We saw herself at a point when we were not happy about certain things she did. Some few months ago, she told us that the law is the law. And so if the law is being the law and is doing its own law thing, I don't see why people are crying wolf. You see, like you said, as politicians and as people, we should be really, really careful when we are doing things. That I can't say that we reaffirm, sir. Now I shall do because I say, the ape looks more human. So when you are chewing the fingers or the hand of the ape, be careful. If you are not careful, you chew your own because they look similar. Sometimes when you are doing things, Kama, for me, I've always said it's a beautiful lady, dressed beautifully, and she'll come knocking at your door as a man, and you have no option than to open that door, and you open it, and you see yourself and your reflection in Kama. So when we are doing things, when we are in a position that we are supposed to serve humanity, especially to give justice. Now the thing is over, so we can speak our mind, Abi. Nobody will hold us in contempt. So if you are in a position, especially when you are supposed to give justice, and you try to play with it, and you go around doing things that you are not supposed to do, we should be careful. What happened this year? Before even this year, we know there was a petition to the former president, Nana Addo, concerning the same issue. But he told us that the woman has not done anything. So nothing happened. But in 2025, two people, 14th of February, 2025, two people, I think one is, let me get the name right.
Daniel Ofori.
Daniel Ofori wasn't 14th. The first one is Ayanga Gawaso, Yakubu, Akilogo, and Kinsley Ejay. The two of them did 14th of February. Then 17th of March, Daniel Ofori did his own petition.
But it's not interesting that you give me specific dates. I like that you give me specific date. It's not interesting that the first two, which came in February, were not dealt with, but Daniel's, which came in March, was dealt with first. And on that basis, she was removed.
No, do you know why? Because we have to follow our proceedings. And then there was no Council of States in place. So their petition was there. It was received.
Does it mean that theirs did not hold enough water for grounds of removal?
It does. It does. For me, sitting here, I won't lie that I've gone into their details.
Okay.
Because Ofori's one was being dealt with. I know about the details a bit. I might not say I have all the details.
How do you know that? When did you find out the details? After the removal process or during the removal process?
After.
Okay.
You see, let me even chip in this before I even continue. From what I heard or I know that came from the Flagstaff House, the office of the president, when she was giving her copy, there's a restriction on the copy. Flagstaff House has no copy. Because we remember that they said we brought these things out when this whole petition issue came up, which was not true. So this time around, Flagstaff House did not keep a copy. So that tomorrow you say that we leaked that information out.
That document.
So for the public to know that the woman herself wanted to do things publicly, she leaked this thing out. Because according to what Beatrice Annan, who is a presidential staffer, I'm mentioning her because she even spoke about it on Metro, that they made sure that there was a restriction on that letter and there was no copy left in the office. So they will not say that somebody had it. But how did that thing get into the public domain? She decided to make her own thing public. From the very beginning, she decided to go into public whatever, whether she was asking for public sympathy or whatever it is. So we left her to her own fate. We saw how she ran around to ECOWAS, to
the
Commonwealth and all that. So for me, that's how she wanted it, and that's how she's getting it. Because this thing could have been done with, I'm sure, long ago. For me, I even thought that if she had allowed the process to have gone on smoothly, maybe things wouldn't have gotten out of hand. You see, let me come to Daniel Ofori. Do you know she has issues? I hear that guy is a litigant, small. So he's always in court. And he had an issue with her before she became a CJ. She was in the CJ. I forgot which court she was in before this issue. She had issues with
Daniel
Ofori.
Okay.
A whole lot of things have gone on between her and this Daniel Ofori guy. So, if... should I even go into...
I think you'd have to shelve that. But let me ask you this. There are some commentary on the back of this. Many say that this is setting a dangerous judicial precedent that will affect judicial autonomy in the coming future.
Does
this concern your party?
No. Why do we see this thing as a political thing? I don't know if you remember during JDM's first administration, there was one lady, is it Loretta or Vivian Lamte? She was an appointee. She decided to stay in a hotel, and there were a whole lot of issues about money and all her spending and whatever. There was a petition against her. Was she not removed by this same president? So how is that a political thing? If he could remove his own appointee, we have a lot of this examples. And when things are happening to others, I spoke about Kama. When our sister Charlotte Osei's issue came up, we saw how they said we were defending her, blah, blah, blah. And today, you feel that somebody is doing wrong. You see, this is somebody who was supposed to buy a ticket for herself. And her family, she decided to charter the whole flight because maybe for some reason she didn't want to sit in the flight with other people. And there was a case, Abronye, when this issue of the spouses of the president and the vice president being paid came up. Lawyer Defiama Honorable went to court, and Abronye went to court that it won't happen. And it was the same Gertrude Esaba, Tukono, who sat on that issue. Her ruling, I'm not a lawyer, but some of the things I know is that she said that as an Article 71 holder, they can't pay the spouses. So it is not right for them to be enjoying certain privileges when their husbands are enjoying same. These are the spouses of vice presidents and the presidents, certain ones. And this is a Chief Justice. You decided to do same for your husband and your daughter. And you said we shouldn't talk about that. Who is in the wrong here? A ruling that came from you. I hear it was a very lengthy one. That ruling was very lengthy to make sure that that case is dead on arrival and buried before anybody decides to even talk about it or it comes into the public for any discussion. And so you, the same person, maybe you forgot that. You gave a ruling on something similar to what you were trying to do. You have done a whole lot of things. A petition against you about incompetence, about you doing things you are not supposed to do. That you did. The president, I don't think, did anything wrong. A petition came to him that as soon as Council of States came into formation or came into being, he handed over the petition to them, except Justice so far. Everybody said, no, there should be a committee. There should be a prima facie case established against her, according to the article which was quoted. And they did same. A committee was formed. Today she said the committee is this. Even where they were supposed to meet, you wanted to bring in your late uncle memories that doesn't even hold water.
Don't you think those concerns were legitimate?
What kind of concerns?
This is a man who took care of her. She holds very dear memories around that enclave.
My sister, whatever she was even trying to align herself to had nothing to even do with that place. So it was just a political game she was trying to play around issues that were not political. And for me, who said I wouldn't have wanted my daughter to be in the studio with me? Because she's not well. I would have wanted her to come to the studio with me, sitting and watching her mother speak. Because I don't want her to sit in the house and watch me and maybe give comments. People call her, we saw your mother on TV and that is it. No, I would have wanted her to so that camera would be on her. Is that how it is done? Am I supposed to come here even if I have an aide to come and sit? We see the ministers, sometimes they come here with their aides and all that. Do you allow any of them to come and sit in the studio with them? So some of these things were neither near here nor there. She was just trying to play political games to cause public sympathy. But she rather made her case worse. Because honestly, like I said, 9 Ghanaians, we are on top of issues. We know better. Yes, we are very discerning. Gone are the days that people will come and throw dust into our eyes and we carry it and run with it. It is no more because we are seeing things for ourselves. We have seen countries that we want to be like, doing things differently. And so why should we be different from them? And most of the time, we will go back and quote things from there. And it was working for us. And today, you said it's not working. So me, even the headline, Mahama have sacked this, Mahama have... what did he do?
But he was his signature appended.
He has to because he is the president. But it doesn't make...
But so
she was given every opportunity.
So it's justified. Mahama has indeed sacked her.
Sacked her. She was given opportunity. So the people who comes to her court that she will give rulings that they don't like the Daniel Foris and things. Is it her or the justice system? Was it a personal decision or the justice system? if they want to do this thing, want to behave like this thing was a personal thing, then it means that every ruling she gave in court was a personal thing. She was doing it for her as Justice Gertrude Esaba, and not for the people of Ghana. And she was not representing us. So we should stop that. If we want this young democracy, a president that's his own appointee, he can remove because there was a petition against that person. How can we sit here and say that he wants her out? For what? What did she do to him? Did she do anything to him? Personally? No. She tried to go around everything. She was given every opportunity. Didn't she go to court? She started with going to court against everything they did. If the formation, she went to court against it. The city, she went to court. She was running. She had a press conference and all that. We gave her the opportunity. Did anybody gag her? We gave her the opportunity. Or the state gave her the opportunity.
One of the things she mentioned in the press conference was fair hearing. We didn't, unfortunately, get to hear the side of the committee members. But, I mean, I know you'll be biased. But as a woman, do you think she was giving fair hearing?
She was. I won't be biased, my sister. I don't see why I should. I told you from the beginning that I love to see women. It doesn't matter where the person stands. But as soon as we also want to play that victim card, we are not weaklings as women. If she were to be a weakling, I'm not sure she would have risen to that stature. So she shouldn't even play that victim card. It is not holding. She started this thing as soon as this whole hearing thing happened. They didn't work for her. No. We are not weaklings, so we shouldn't even try. She was given a fair hearing. And because the thing was in camera, I pray that even because that now this whole thing has come, they should even make us, the public, know exactly what went on. So that we can also be on top.
You would want the things made public?
Yes.
Even the recommendations?
Yes.
Okay.
So that at least when we are speaking, we know that the person was given it.
Though we know some parts of the recommendations.
Yes. Though we know some, we don't know everything. If it is possible, we should know everything so that nobody will sit anywhere and say this or that because she wasn't given a fair hearing. I don't think she was. She went to Commonwealth. They didn't work for her.
Be held in camera. Don't you think we'll be breaching the Constitution then?
That's why I'm saying that if it is possible, if not, we shouldn't also sit and think that she was victimized or anything. For me, for her running around, she was the one who even came into the public first. Because nobody came publicly. She came into the public. Even the committee members, nobody even came out to speak. Aside all the allegations she was making against people, did you see any of them come to speak concerning? No.
Because the process was in camera.
Was in camera. So nobody had a right. But she came out, speaking here and there, chatting everywhere.
Okay.
We gave her that. Nobody said it. Even a restricted letter recommendation to you, you still made it public. So what are we to do to such a person? Is she even fit to be there? Based on what she has even done, is she fit?
Can you then assure the Ghanaian public that the independence of the judiciary as a party remains intact and that the NDC as a party plans to maintain that independence and protects it?
We are not interested in touching that. Because looking at where we are now, we have majority in parliament. Why should we even try to touch?
Now we can say you have supermajority.
We have more than. We can change anything. I can tell you to sleep 12 o'clock. Parliament can do that, and you sleep afternoon. And you wake up the next 12 o'clock. And we can't have anything to say. But that is not our interest. We thank God that we have this, so that we can make sure that we thank God this, the constitutional review, I think they are done with going around. But I'm sure their office is still open.
Exactly.
So that some of these things can be done properly. We are not interested in touching the justice system. Because my sister, like we have said, Kama is hitting these people in the face and it's hitting them hard. You see, so in trying to do some of these things, you would think you'll be in power forever. These things will come back to haunt you. So we are not interested. We are interested in making sure that our justice system and its delivery is going to be just. Nothing else by the law. Since the law is the law, they are going to pick everything. The Constitution, that is the supreme book of this land that we all abide by. If by God's grace the committee is able to do the things, maybe inputs people brought and all that, and we now adopt it as this is what we want, then we go by it. Me, I don't think NDC is interested in touching anybody in the job. So do you want to tell us that we won't get anybody who supports our party or who aligns with our ideologies, who will be called to the bench one day? And so how do you expect people to even treat them differently? We are not interested in any of that. We are interested in making sure that when I sit in here, I have issue, I can go to court and know that the justice delivery is going to be in or out of my favor.
Okay.
And any other person too. And I can come home convinced that this is good for me. I am okay with it. It's not going to be like, you are not sure. I don't even... If you look at the Daniel Ofori's case, it got to a point that he has to appeal to Supreme Court that he doesn't want Justice Gertrude to be on his cases because she has some partiality when it comes to him.
Okay.
If you go into all this is not what we want. I know if I'm coming to meet you in the studio, I don't want to come to this studio because of this person. At a point, there are some of our opponents, I don't want to meet them in studio because of their language, because of their postures, because it's not, we are not here to fight each other. We are here to tell Ghanaians what we stand for, what we have stood for, and where we are going as a people. So it shouldn't be a case of we sitting in the studio and trying to fight each other or use certain languages on some of us. There are certain hosts, we know they are hostile to us. So when you are going, you also arm yourself. So these are some of the things that happen. Anyway. So if I'm going to court, that is where NDC or this government wants us to get to. I know that no matter what, if it's about Akoko, it's about Ebro, it's about office, it's about pen, anything, the justice system, it's going to be in or out of my favor. It's not going to be biased towards anybody because we are all Ghanaians.
All right.
And otherwise.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Unfortunately, the NPP rep couldn't join us this morning, but that should do for the breakfast review. My name is Lily Mohammed. We take a break, and when we come back, there's a lot to talk about. We'll talk some science. We'll talk about hair transplant. I know a few people, a few men who are interested in this. Stay tuned in. You're welcome back to the show. This topic will interest a lot of people, especially the men out there. Lend me your ears for the next couple of minutes. We're talking about hair transplant on Health Alert this morning. I've been joined on studio by Dr. Kodjo. She's hair restoration specialist at UGMC, and Dr. Fifi Yangson is a plastic surgeon at UGMC. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank God you're not bald. Anyway, but I know a few bald people. Few bald men.
Send them our way.
We should send them your way, right? That's a good one. Let's talk about hair transplant. When we say hair transplant, what does it mean? And what will necessitate a hair transplant?
Okay, so hair transplant is basically taking hair from one part of the head or the scalp and transplanting it or placing it at a different part. So a part where it's balding or thinning that needs hair, we are taking hair from the part of the scalp that has less balding, that is less resistance to balding, and just placing it at the place where it's bald. It's basically that, taking from one side and putting it at another place, yeah.
What generally causes hair loss?
There are lots and lots of factors that could cause hair loss. Generally, you could have hair loss from your genetics. So we black people, we are already susceptible to having hair loss.
Is it because of the sun? or our skin?
So yeah, naturally, we are susceptible to hair loss. That's one part. And then you have your environmental causes, and then you have hormonal issues also causing it. And sometimes when you take the person as a whole, there are blood issues, because at the end of the day, what makes your hair grow is when there's good hair and blood supply to the scalp. Yes. And for women, we have from the braids, from our wigs, from even perming our hair frequently, all those stress and things can cause hair loss. So yeah, the causes are...
How long, so since you mentioned, let's stay in that bracket. How long will it take for somebody who is constantly braiding or who is constantly using harmful chemicals on their hair, or even the adhesives that we use on our scalp? How long will it take for somebody to have permanent hair loss?
Well, it's person dependent, and it takes a while. First, it starts with thinning. So you see the signs. So once you see the thinning and you don't do anything about it, eventually the thinned hair just falls off, and then you have a bald patch. And with time, that bald patch loses hair follicles, and you'd have to need a transplant. Yeah, you have permanent hair loss from that.
Can age be a factor?
Age also plays a age also plays a role.
For the men.
So actually, for some of the hair loss is temporary, some is permanent. So for the women, for instance, some of them have underlying genetic factors that makes them susceptible to the genetics, like the genes you inherited. So if, let's say, you have male patterned baldness, and you inherited that, you could be susceptible. And then if you are in such a category and you start using harmful hair products and all that, and you start having thinning, like she mentioned, it could eventually lead to permanent balding.
So if you have parents who have loss of hair for a woman and you use, so it means that you are susceptible. But how do I identify that, it's not because my father has aged, that's why they've lost their hair, or my mother has aged? Because very often you see that when women are growing, they have gray, even men, and then after some time, hair becomes very thin, and then a lot of the time it's gone. How do I know that it's not age-wise, or this, or do I have to do certain tests to determine whether this is why I'm losing my hair?
Tests, not necessarily. You examine and see. So it's usually for the male patterned ones. It doesn't start at old age. Usually in their 20s, early 30s, it starts showing. Yes, and there are stages. So eventually, before they have a really bald patch, it would have progressed through the stages. And some of them, we may have other hair restoration procedures that could be done before they actually get the total bald patch, which would require hair transplants.
Is it safe to do hair transplant? Are there side effects?
Generally, it's safe when it's done by a professional in a sterile environment. It's safe. And the next question, is it safe?
I'm asking if there are notable side effects.
Yes, so with every procedure, there are some side effects. But I think for us black people, the most common side effect is the keloids. So if you are prone to having keloids, you can form keloids from the hair transplant surgery. And that's why now we are trying to move away from the follicular unit transplantation, the strip method, where we take a strip of the skin at the back of the scalp, and then under microscope, we take out the hair follicles and transplant. Because of that, there's a scar, and that scar can form a keloid. So now we are trying to move away from that procedure and using more modern procedures like the follicular unit extraction, where we use a manual punch to extract the hair follicles and then transplant. That way we minimize...
I'll come to the FUT and the FUE. But for you, GMC, why now? Why have you decided to do hair transplants? Is it because the market is booming? You see a lot of people traveling to Turkey to do it.
No, actually, so at the plastic surgery units, a lot of people come in to make inquiries about hair transplants. People have called in to find out, and then realize that it's a service that is generally lacking in Ghana. Most of the people have to travel all the way, and then they have all the other effects from the traveling and all that. Some people, you go to a foreign land, you don't know anybody, you don't know the system there. So
even the language barrier.
Even language barrier, because most of the people there are not really used to our accent. And then there's also another thing about black hair. You know, most of the people in Turkey and other places are used to doing hair transplants for, light-skinned people, and our hair texture is
very coarse.
Coarse and
different.
curly.
So you need somebody who is used to that, somebody who is actually used to black hair to be able to do yours. If you go to somebody who has less experience in that, you may not like the results. We've had people coming back with not so pleasant results. So that's why we decided as a unit to undertake this initiative. And so we've started our hair restoration clinic. We started recruiting people, and then we'll start the actual surgeries from December almost.
At what ideal age can somebody have a hair transplant? Since you're starting in December, I'm sure there are a lot of people who will be trooping into the center.
So ideally, hair transplant is not recommended for young people. So anyone below the age of 25, you are not a candidate for hair transplant. And a lot of people think...
But there are some people who are born bald. Even for women.
Yes.
So it means there's no...
they are not really bald. People think they are bald, but they are not bald. The thing about balding is you literally do not have hair follicles at all.
Okay.
And other hair restorative procedures have failed, and you have permanent hair loss. That's when we decide to do hair transplants for you. And that's why a very good consultation is needed, because not everyone, again, is a candidate for hair transplant. So there are people that will put them on medical therapies. There are people that will do other therapies for them, like using exosomes or stem cells, or even using their own blood, spinning it in a centrifuge, getting out the plasma and re-injecting it into the scalp. They don't necessarily need hair transplants.
Okay. Earlier, you were talking about the FUT and then the follicle unit extraction and the follicle unit transplant, right?
Yeah.
Which one are you constantly going to center on at UGMC? Is it the FUT? The FUE?
FUE. Yes, so we are going to mostly do the FUE and the DHI.
Okay.
So the FUE is follicular unit extraction, where we use a manual punch to take...
It's not painful.
No, you're actually giving a
the
local.
moment I had more punch.
You are giving a local anesthesia, so you are actually calm during the procedure. And for people who cannot tolerate pain, we give them some form of light sedation, so you are awake. And the procedure lasts for a minimum of 4 hours, maximum of 8 hours.
That's a lot of. Okay, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so because you asked about pain, so you would be totally numb before it starts, so you won't feel pain, even though we are manually extracting it.
How soon can I see visible results if I go through the
for a hair transplant? So in 3 to 4 months, you'd have some shedding, but in
shedding.
Yes, so the transplanted follicles will shed. Before the new hair grows. So in about a year, you should see the new, 9 months to 12 months, you should see your new growth. Yes. And if it's a gray hair that was transplanted, it's going to grow gray. So people usually say, okay, I have gray hair, I've had a hair transplant, am I going to get black hair? No, you're going to get gray hair. What was transplanted is what you get. Yes.
I'm sure there are a lot of people with questions. Since this is our first session, please send in your questions. I'll shelve them and then on our next session. But let me ask this. Some people treat hair loss with concussions, let me put it this way, and some sell products on the market. How safe is it to use those products? And do you have products that you even recommend that, okay, for somebody who is less than 25 years, you can use this for hair loss?
Yes, so when people...
Not mentioning of products, but is it safe to do so?
There are some products that we even recommend, and we tell people that you can get them from the pharmacies and you can get them from the shops. But again, these medications and these products do have side effects, and that's why you need a proper consultation, because I need to take a full history, take a full assessment, know your, especially in us women, I need to know your fertility wishes before I put you on certain medications. Even with men, I also need to know your fertility wishes and put you on certain medications because of its side effects. Yes. So, again, a good consultation.
I know people have questions on lifestyle changes after, even before the surgery, after surgery, and then the cost, but we'll shelve that for the next session. Doctor, you have anything you want to add before we leave the health segment?
Yes, so like I said earlier, hair restoration is possible. I mean, if you've been stressing with hair loss, you don't have to worry your head so much. Now it's available here in Ghana. You can come get a good consultation. We'll take you through what will be best for you. For some, you may not even need a hair transplant, like we said. You can just take your own blood, spin it, take a component of the blood, and use it to rejuvenate your hair. So it's possible. Yes.
Well, you heard that. It is possible for the men. The Pim store, please. This time around, we're going to fill it with more products in there. Thank you very much, Dr. Godiamako. She's a hair restoration specialist. She'll take care of your hair. You see, her hair is very long. Just make sure that you have long hair as well. And as Dr. Fifi Yankson is a plastic surgeon, all with UGMC. I am back shortly after this breather. Stay tuned in.
Welcome back to GH Today here on GHOne Television. Just gone by an interesting conversation on hair transplants and other issues. And I'm sure that perhaps you've taken a cue from that. But now let's talk generally about the pharmaceutical industry. Let's look at the pharmacists. You know, they are the first port of call, mostly for health issues. When we have challenges, you don't go to the hospital, right? You quickly look for a pharmacist, a pharmacy nearby, and speak to a pharmacist there. And mostly, they've saved millions of lives with their interventions. But let's look at that particular industry. And this morning, I've been joined in studio by Dr. Paul Owusu-Donko. He is senior lecturer at the University of Ghana. Paul, welcome.
Thank you, Josh, for having me here.
I hope you're doing well.
I am great.
Amazing. And I remember with the hair transplant conversation.
Yeah.
Well, that's just on the side.
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you this, Josh. Baldness sometimes could be a sign of wisdom. And I want to tell you that I'm a walking encyclopedia as I sit here.
Yours is wisdom.
It is wisdom.
Yeah, but I have a friend, Pius. I can say same for him. But it's good to have you once again.
Same.
But talking about the pharmacists, the pharmaceutical industry, it's played a very key role in our healthcare delivery, among others. But would you say that our system has been able to properly position pharmacy where it should be?
Good one, Josh. I would say that we've done a lot, and there's a lot more we can do. And you can look at it from how we integrate the pharmacist into the general health ecosystem. Truth of the matter is that the pharmacy and the pharmacist, as you explained in your introduction, is often the first point of contact or the first port of call for many a Ghanaian looking for health solutions. But all too often, we get to a place where when we go to the pharmacy, we are either going there on a transactional basis rather than an investment form. As in investing into our health, we rather are thinking about it as I am going to spend my money on them. And because we think about it in a transactional sense, oftentimes we don't build a relationship with the pharmacist. And so our thought patterns have gone into more curative than preventive ways of healthcare. And I think that that is what we are lacking as a country, what we are lacking as a people, that we think more of the pharmacists as they are making money out of me by selling medicines to me, rather than appreciating the pharmacist as your healthcare consultant who is there for preventive care more than the curative one. But of course, when we are unable to prevent and we therefore have a disease state, the pharmacist is the right person to go to help you in managing your condition.
So with that same mindset, if we're focusing on preventive, then the pharmacist will be out of business really early.
That is a beautiful point to make. And I'll tell you this. The pharmacist is not focused on the money he is making. He's focused on the healthcare he is giving to you. He's focused on your well-being. Because once we are all well, then indeed we are all wealthy. Because, I mean, face it, we say that true wealth is in health. So our commitment as pharmacists is to ensure that as a country, we are healthy. Because when we are healthy, we are wealthy. In fact, the term we have, or our motto for the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, is that we are amicus humani generis, Latin for friends of the human race. Our focus is in safeguarding the health of the human race. And so I say it again, let's not be transactional in how we see the pharmacist. Let's be relational in how we see the pharmacist, that he is committed to your well-being. He is committed to you having the best of health outcomes.
Because I've heard stories where people say, oh, well, when you go to the pharmacy, these drugs are too expensive. Let's look for some chemical shop somewhere and get the same, and you get the same drug at rather reduced prices. And people are wondering, is it because it's mostly in an air-conditioned environment? Does that increase the prices of the drugs he sells?
That's a good point, the bit about how we are storing our medicines. Because let's understand that medicines are not ordinary items of commerce. Medicines have key roles to play, and how they are stored have a long way to go on their efficacy, how well they work within your body. If we are not careful, we would move to a place where we are penny wise but pound foolish. We are thinking that at the moment, I am not ready to part with X amount of money. I would rather get from an unauthorized source. So you think that you have resolved a particular condition, but you haven't. you've actually worsened your condition. And I tell people, you then move into an era where we say that the cure you were looking for has become more expensive than the disease you presented with in the first place. Because one, your disease would not have been resolved within the time you expected it to. Two, chances are that it will get worsened. And then you would have to spend more in finding a cure for it. So the cure you thought you had earlier, which was cheaper, has now become more expensive than the disease you started with in the first place. You have been penny-wise, but pound-foolish. Or in Ghana's term, we will say you have been peswa-wise, but cedi-foolish. Yeah.
Right. So the focus should be on getting quality that would address our health conditions.
Precisely.
And when you look at our system currently, so much pressure. Immense pressure, I should say, on the health facilities. And so the minute we have a situation where nurses decide we are going to stay off work for one day, there's a huge challenge to the health sector. What role can pharmacists play in reducing the pressure on our health facilities?
I'm glad you asked this. We ought to look at optimization of the resources that are available to us. If you look at our doctor-to-patient ratio, if you look at our nurse-to-patient ratio, if you look at our pharmacist-to-patient ratio, these figures are often low. They are below what is optimal. But we are not taking advantage of the different practice areas within the healthcare ecosystem, such that almost every condition we push it to the health facility, we push it to the hospital. Then we overwhelm the system. When indeed the community pharmacy, which is the closest health facility to you in your community, and is open longer than most health facilities are so open for, and the pharmacist being the most approachable healthcare professional, all of these factors encouraging you to visit the community pharmacy. But if you miss that opportunity, and we start to push all of our attention onto the hospitals, then we overwhelm the hospitals. Then there's long lag time in terms of how long you have to sit and wait for consultations. There's a long lag time in how long you have to wait at the hospital pharmacy to receive your medicines. When the community pharmacy was just next door to you, and they could have caught the telltale signs of the condition that you did have. So I am glad about the intervention that the present government has put in place, which is the PHC, the primary healthcare approach that it is going with, where it is now integrating the community pharmacy into how we deliver primary healthcare. Oftentimes, the community pharmacist is only rewarded for the medicine that he purveys, that he sells. But we have gotten to a point where the current administration is recognizing that, yes, there must be some fee for service on the part of the pharmacist who does consultations, who does drug information services to the community. And I think this emboldens us as community pharmacists to continue to give out our very best to the everyday Ghanaian. And so I want to call on all Ghanaians that your pharmacy and the pharmacist are your primary healthcare partners, your friends, that you must build a good relationship with.
But Paul, is it not also a case that people seem to trust the doctors and the nurses at the health facilities more than the pharmacists, for which reason they would rather resort to the hospital directly without going through the pharmacy, the community pharmacy, I should say?
Josh, we can walk and chew gum. We don't have to say we are trusting only the doctor or the nurse or the pharmacist. They are in a team. That's a healthcare team. And the trust we have must actually be on all of the players within the healthcare team. But of course, the data supports what I say, that the pharmacist is the most trusted healthcare professional when you talk about the healthcare team. And it's because they are very accessible. They are right next door to you. But I would say again that our trust should be on all the persons that we entrust our healthcare issues to.
So if that's the case, why are people still preferring self-medication, among others? I know that some people would say, no, I prefer a drug that, our forefathers, and so they'll go to any herbal shop, regardless of whether it's licensed or not, and get any herbal concoction that is even sold in the neighborhood compared to visiting the pharmacy.
You are right, Josh. And you mentioned a key term here, self-medication. I would say that self-medication is not inherently bad. It is uninformed self-medication that is the problem. And we are in a digital space now where people tend to trust Google to diagnose and prescribe for them more than they do the healthcare professional who has stayed 6-7 years in school to be trained, to have the experience to diagnose you well and prescribe and dispense the right medicines. What I would say is that by all means, use technology, use AI to help you in understanding your disease condition. But when it comes to the final decision making, do not trust your AI tool to understand the nuances within your drug history, your medical history. That is why you need the personal touch of your pharmacist. You need the personal touch of your healthcare team to be able to help you with this. On the part of traditional medicines, I would say that the conversation is around integration. Let's not bastardize our traditional medicines. We've used them over the years, and we can tell from anecdotal evidence that they do work. But let's also understand that in how we train pharmacists, we train them on herbal medicines as well. So they do understand what may be contraindications from a Western medicine or Orthodox medicine as opposed to that of herbal medicine alone, when you ought to take them together, when you ought to separate them, when they may build synergies and all of these. That conversation is what you ask the drug expert, who is a pharmacist, to help you with all of these.
Quite interesting. And now I remember also again that I've done some work with the NCD Alliance, the Non-Communicable Disease Alliance. So there's quite an alarming rate, very, very worrying. And over the years, we've tried to do advocacy in terms of policy shifts and directions and all of that. But how can the pharmacists help in addressing NCDs in the communities, among others, hypertension on the rise, all of these things?
That's the burden we have here with us in Ghana, in fact, in the sub-Saharan African region, that we have the double burden of both communicable and non-communicable diseases. And I mentioned earlier that if we put too much stress on the hospitals, then they would get overwhelmed. Those who can catch these NCDs at a very early stage will be the pharmacy, the pharmacist in the pharmacy. And that's why I gave kudos to the present administration, that they have incorporated the PHC, the primary health care, into the community pharmacy, where we are doing blood pressure monitoring, we are doing blood glucose, we are checking all of these, so we can catch these conditions right before they blow out. And so I talk again about being more preventive in our mindset than curative. And so the role the pharmacist can do in helping all of us is to continue to find out where are the trouble points, when is a client, when is a patient moving past the line where it is comfortable. So we catch them early. We are more preventive than we are curative.
Do we have a system where we are even sourcing data from pharmacies? Because I'm here thinking that in terms of outbreaks, the pharmacists should be the ones to quickly give data and realize that in this particular area, a lot of people are reporting with this kind of ailment, because not everybody will want to go to the hospital, by the way. But do we have that system?
We are building on it. And in the previous administration, there was the launch of the GHOne, the Ghana National Electronic Pharmacy Platform. So data is everything. Data is gold. And to be able to predict and forecast, we ought to have the data. We've moved from the era where when you come to the pharmacy, we write in foolscap notebooks, to where we now key data onto our softwares that manage the pharmacies. We are growing in terms of that, how we aggregate the data that we so store on these platforms. So, of course, we require a lot more investment into the digitalization of our drug information, not only in the hospitals, because, mind you, we have the DIMS that's able to coordinate or tease out that data. But at the community pharmacy too, we ought to have the platform that allows us to have a general forecast, not only of national, but right down to the community level. And so it's an ongoing conversation that we are having. The Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana is solely committed to how we use technology, we use digital solutions to help us achieve this data that helps with policy planning and implementation.
Quite interesting. But recently, we've realized that there's a high stress burden, especially on young people. People want to succeed regardless, and it's built a lot of stress burden. And the Mental Health Authority has given indication that, well, we have a ticking time bomb on our hands. How can pharmacists help with that?
So when you say this, I remember some of the counsel I give to my students that I often tell them, in the rat race, even when you get out of it, even when you finish first, you are still a rat. Our quest for get-rich-quick schemes, our quest for overnight success is pushing us beyond the limit. And this is having a toll on our mental health. Good news is that the pharmacist is well trained to be able to catch these signals early. They are well trained to network with psychological support that is able to provide interventions right at the onset for not just the young, the old as well. In fact, in pharmacy, we now have the PMAG, the Pharmacy Mental Health Association of Ghana, which is led by one of the executives of the Pharmaceutical Society, Dr. Richmond Edusapoku. Their commitment is towards safeguarding the mental health of all Ghanaians. And so every now and again, they are sensitizing pharmacists, particularly community pharmacists, to pick on the telltale signs of when people are overwhelmed, when mentally they are stressed out, that we can provide the needed interventions right at the time when we do see them.
Right.
So have a relationship with your pharmacist. Build a connection with your pharmacist. He is that stopgap for when you may just go over the ledge. He is the one who would spot all of these and help you address your mental health state.
Wow. I wanted to ask for a final words, but I think it can't get better than this. To have a relationship with your pharmacist. Don't just go and buy medicine and think it's a transactional relationship.
Thank you.
But then have that relationship where you can speak to your pharmacist, and then perhaps you don't have to worry about health conditions deteriorating.
Josh, I'm glad you're an advocate for the pharmacy and the pharmacist. Thank you so much for having me
But
here.
Doc, thank you so much for coming. I think we should have you again and have a broader conversation. But Pharm Dr. Paul Owusu-Donkor, he's a lecturer at the University of Ghana, helping us appreciate the role of pharmacists in our lives. Bottom line is, have a good relationship with your pharmacist. That can save your life. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this. Hes Daniels, and also we'll be speaking to one of the wonderful people who's a part of this year's cohort. We have Fred Amponsan. He's with Africa Works Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
So let me start with you, Kezia. Tell me you made what you're wearing.
Yes, I did.
Wow. So talk to me about the brand, Hes Daniels.
Hes Daniels is a fashion brand, and we are focused on creating luxurious pieces for women. So anything for women that, talk about elegance, women who want to be elegant, women who want to be comfortable, women who want to stand out in their own uniqueness. You get so bespoke, but then I have a bit of my personal style in it. That is what Hes Daniels focuses on.
Right. And how long have you been doing this?
This is my 3rd year.
Has this always been the dream for you?
Yes.
Because when I was grade, I wanted to be a pilot. Any minute.
Okay. So I didn't want to do fashion. I used to draw, and then my parents also used to make clothes. They still make clothes. But that wasn't the dream. I wanted to do architecture or something different. But this is where I am now today.
Interesting. So, core 3 of Entrepreneurship with Bola, why did you decide to be a part of it?
Because I wanted to upskill my business. I wanted something different. I was tired of the regular, what I saw my parents do or my grandparents do. They both were into fashion, but I wanted something different for myself. Upskill, something different, grow the business, see it go international. Don't limit yourself. Yeah.
And how has the experience been so far?
Interesting, tiring, challenging, but it's pushed me. It's given me a lot of exposure, a whole lot of exposure. You have no idea. I've learned a lot about sustainability, branding, failing fast. We learned that last week. It's been an interesting journey so far.
I'll come back to you and get more about your being part of Cohort 3 and what you're looking forward to. But Fred, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So, Africa Works, Ghana.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to be a part of Cohort 3?
Okay, so actually, Africa Works, we are a sponsor or a partner for the Cohort 3. So basically, the Cohort or BR Institute is all about entrepreneurs. And with Africa Works, our motto goes, unleashing Africa's potential through work.
Okay.
So what we do is we have ready office spaces that have been set up for entrepreneurs, SMEs, expatriates who want to open up businesses here, just want to work for like a year or more.
You have the spaces ready?
We have the spaces ready.
So the hassle and bustle of trying to get a place, furnish it, you take that off the entrepreneur?
Totally.
Wow.
Totally. So because you get an office space, go get pay utilities, furnish the place and all that. No, we've taken that away. So just pay your monthly rent. You have internet access, there's water available, there's and on top of it also, we serve you with coffee every morning.
Oh, Charlie, stop that.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, stop that.
That's true. Just that we don't give bread. So we bring your biscuits from the house.
Interesting. And so what I'm sure that you followed the entrepreneurs, the young brains that are part of Cohort 3. What's your impression?
Well, last week Thursday they were in our space, and they are really doing good. The fact that they understand what they are about and how they've come to realize that being an entrepreneur is just not understanding what you do, but gaining more knowledge and education and how to build themselves up and to really get themselves into the industry. They're trying. They're really doing a good job out there.
Amazing. So, Kezia, how was the experience like in their space?
Very comfortable. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You should get one of those places, to put the things together.
I should.
Right. So, what's the dream for you, regards to what you're looking to become after this particular program?
So I've already started thinking, because every session comes with its own information.
Okay.
Everything, like every session leaves me with a different idea at one point or another. So I've already started putting measures in place, like don't sit with this, upskill, like do something. Don't limit yourself to just clothing. If you can do something else, do it. How are you going to advertise it, market it, tell a story? With that is where I see myself going. Take it international. I'm always looking at not limiting myself to my space or to my circle or being too comfortable, but making it global.
So we should not be surprised to see you not only doing clothing, but maybe adding maybe shoe line or something?
That is possible. I would like that. I would add that.
You would?
Yes.
And the idea came from me. Interesting. So what has been your most challenging moment on Core 3?
Time management, because of Thursdays. I mean, we have a long session, so you have to make something for a client, and you're there the whole time, like thinking about, and you have deadlines to meet. So it's just managing your time. That has been the greatest challenge. But I've been finding my way. Most exciting, meeting the various mentors. Every week comes with its own experience. That is what I look forward to every week, meeting the various mentors, what they have to tell us, what's new skill, what's new information we can gain from that.
Interesting. Well, Fred, so how do people get in touch with you? Because if I were an entrepreneur, which I'm not, by the way, sadly, I would be really looking for you to make my work easy.
All right. So with Africa Works, currently we have 2 spaces in Accra. Okay. So one is on the 4th floor, Stanbic Heights, Airport City, and then one on the 3rd floor, the Galleria Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. So if you want to reach us, and also we are within 7 other African countries. So in South Africa, we are in Cape Town and then Joburg. In Abidjan, Ivory Coast, we are in Lagos in Nigeria, also in Senegal. We are also in Mauritius as well, and then also in Zambia. So in Accra, if you want to reach us, you can reach us on 0244 798 702, 0244 798 702. Or you can send us an email, accra@africaworks.co. accra@africaworks.co. Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being a part of Core 3, supporting these entrepreneurs and supporting the program. BR Institute, I'm also there. So we are grateful.
Thank you.
But finally from you, Kezia, in the next 5 years, what is the picture?
Global impacts and training, organized training programs for women, impart my skill into ladies. But global impact, very important. Wealth, very, very important. And yeah, that is where I see myself in the next 5 years. I'm just so focused on going away from my comfort zone. I want to go away from this space. I want people to see what we do, what I do.
So how do people get to see what you do?
I'm on Instagram. The handle is _Case Daniels. Same handle on TikTok as well. Okay. And then you can contact me on 054 351 2655.
That was so fast.
Yeah.
054
351 2655.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, and I wish you well.
Too.
Hopefully, you get to join me and the rest of the team in Barbados. So thank you so much, Kiz Daniels, and of course the man Fred from Africa Works, Ghana. Yeah. They have spaces in Pechepe places. It's all good. But we're celebrating birthdays. It's the 3rd of September 2025. Some wonderful people celebrating their birthdays today. And yes, one of my favorite human beings, Emmanuel Ejabeng. Oh man, the data guy. So today we celebrate a truly wonderful person, someone whose kindness, energy, and spirit brightens the lives of everyone around him. Emmanuel Ejabeng. Kwekwe Ejabeng. May this special day bring you endless joy, love, and laughter. May all your dreams take flight. And may the year ahead be filled with success, good health, and unforgettable moments. Happy birthday to you, my brother. And it's from all of us in the newsroom, outside the newsroom, on the data research desk, business desk, political desk. Charlie is an all-rounder. Happy birthday, my brother. We appreciate you so much. This next one says, your birthday serves as the perfect reason to remind you of how truly amazing you are. Hoping your day is brimming with surprises and pure joy. As you blow out your birthday candles, please know that my wish is for you to attain all the desires of your heart. Happy birthday, my sweetheart, Nana Ajwa Abigail. And it's from Sami to you. Do have a wonderful birthday, Nana Ajwa. And this one is for my wife. My wife seems to be wishing a lot of people happy birthday. But if your husband is on the show, why not? Happy blessed birthday to the lovely and craziest person I've ever met, Mercedes. Keep glowing and growing in God's love. And from Fanny to you, Mrs. Fanny Akusika Mensah to you, Mercedes. You have a wonderful one. If it's nice We wish him twice. So we at EIB Network today celebrating a sharp brain, super sharp brain, very intelligent young man, very calm as well. He's the exact opposite of me. Yeah, very cool-headed, lovely person, and he doesn't like food. Emmanuel Ijabing, as you turn a year older, may you start liking food. Amen. Happy birthday to you. We appreciate you so much. And on that note, we will draw the curtains on the show today. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah, and I started the show with Lily Mohammed. We're back same time tomorrow. Please do join us.